morning. Good Wednesday morning. Before I check the weather, we need to do some serious fact checking. There's a lot of the nonsense that people are talking about out there. So we're going to do that too. Because I don't accept nonsense. And I hope to God that Republicans grow some spine, like I always say about Starmer or Macron. I hope they grow a spine over this alleged reports of these details of this deal. Because if it's true, this is bad for the United States in so many ways. So many ways. He has weakened us in so many ways. And somebody has to do something about it. This should go up to Congress for approval. And Congress, Republicans, forget about party. Think of the country. Start growing a spine and doing the right thing. Stop it. Some are talking. More need to talk. Now, who's annoying me at this time in the morning? Early. Oh, a fan? Troller? What's up, Jake? Oh, shit. I hung up on her. Damn. What's happening?
Hey, Bill, I'm on the phone with Greg and Anna.
All right, tell Anna to send me the title, or you could send it to me. Title and description for today, and I'll set it up for you guys.
Okay. What we wanted to do is, remember you told me that we have to remove John to add me.
I can't do it. She has to do it. She has to go into StreamYard and remove him as an owner. And take him off because she's a co-owner now. She has to remove John and then add you. So tell her to call me.
I'm on the phone.
Oh, you're on the phone. Good.
Yeah, we all on the phone now.
All right.
Hey, Greg.
Where's Greg?
We here and then all on call right now.
Greg, what the hell is going on? I miss seeing you guys. Greg, I don't have your phone number or email, so can somebody please give Greg my contact information?
Okay, I'll send it to him.
Cool. Both. Of course, the email and my phone number.
Okay.
All right, hold on. So, Anna, this is the thing. You need to go to StreamYard.com to the search warrant account. Like now. Guys, hold on that are watching on the stream. I got to show you guys something very important on the stream to get the facts out straight. But I got to help my friends here that they do a great show, Search Warrant. It's about corruption. They're law enforcement. So I got to help them out for a second. So just give me a second. I'm talking to my people watching right now. Hold on. All right. So I need you to go in there. Anna, I need you to go on the... Huh? Okay. Go to members. I cannot remove him as an owner. See, she's in there as an admin. If you click on members, you'll see two names, John's and Anna. I don't have control. Anna, do you have? She's the only one that probably has control. Because
She's the only one that can do it. She got to go on search1.com and go to use her email address.
No. She has to go to StreamYard and remove him.
I mean, StreamYard.
Okay, so this is the problem, Bill. So the problem is that nobody has John's password to StreamYard.
We don't.
I'm at the screen that you're talking about right now, and I see John as the owner, and I see Anna or the
As an admin.
At Gmail is the admin, but I can't do anything with it because I have to be able to log into.
I can get you logged in easily, just like I do everybody else, but I cannot give you the code. Anna can give you the code. Cause. All right, Greg, go in and go to StreamYard. And I don't know what the login email. Try Anna's login for the email. Put her email in there to log in with, and it's going to ask for a code. She will get an email, and she'll give you the code. So it's I'm live, so I can't say it, but you guys see it. It starts with the number 1.
Yeah.
Put that in when.
So I'm actually logged into StreamYard right now with the code that Anna sent me way back when.
So you are an admin then. So you have access.
Yes, I have access, but to do what you want me to do, I have admin access. I don't have owner access.
You don't need it. None of us do. I never have.
I'm at the members page right now.
Yeah, you don't need it.
And okay.
We.
But we do
I'm not an admin,
need
but
it because we're taking the show over,
right,
and we're going to continue it.
right.
We need to be able to adjust this.
Anna has total control as an admin in there. As long as she's an admin, she's got control. So you can ignore the John thing. Anna has control. Like I said,
Can I remove the John and put Jake?
only if you can, but he's owner. I don't know if you could remove an owner.
No, yeah, you have to assume John's identity as the owner.
Right.
You have John's password,
Correct.
and you don't have that.
No.
Do you have
and
any of John's passwords to any of his other social media, like Rumble, X, LinkedIn?
um
Do you do any of
I do not, but like I said, I don't know if it was Ann that gave me, or actually it was John that gave me that information. I don't worry about setting up the shows on Rumble and all that, because I do that. I set up the shows. You guys have nothing. The main thing you got to worry about is adding the content in there, like videos and photos. And you can do that as an admin. You know what I mean? So you don't got to worry about that. As long as Anna has control and can give you guys the code if you get signed out, she can log you back in. Anna can do that. She has control as an admin in there, is what I'm saying.
Can Anna change it to me? Can she change her? Can I change? Can it go from Anna to me?
What do you mean?
Like, could I change Anna from being owner to me to being an owner? Or
Because like Greg was saying, John is the owner. John would have to sign in, or Ann, with the password to create him off as owner. But here's the problem, guys. StreamYard was being paid for by John. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen for much longer. So we have to. Somebody, Anna, you guys have to contribute and create your own StreamYard, because once this monthly payment stops, this account is going to lock up. So that is the ultimate solution here, creating your own StreamYard account for Search Warrant so that you all can be involved with it. So Anna could be the owner, Jake could be the owner, Greg could be the owner, but usually they only allow 2 roles for that. 2 seats is what they call it. So we can get away with this for right now, but you guys have to come together and figure out a way to move forward and pay monthly to get the StreamYard account so that you get full control over this.
okay, gotcha.
So for now, we could do it this way. But John, I mean, it's being billed under John's credit card that he's no longer with us, sadly. So we have to move on without him, and that means creating a StreamYard account without him.
How much is StreamYard?
I think it's like $60 a month. Maybe less. No, I'm exaggerating.
It's $80 a month.
It's 80.
Yeah, John told me $80 a month.
All right. So then, whoever's going to be involved, chip in 20 a piece for a month. Like the 3 of you, that would be like more like 25, 30. But if that's what you want to do, that's what you're going to have to do. Unless you find, like, if you guys know somebody else you would like to incorporate in the show, since John is no longer here, and redo Search Warrant with the 3 of you, but it's usually Jake and Greg. And if there's a third person that you guys think that would be of value to the show, you can approach that person. I'm just coming up with ideas.
We'll think about that stuff later, I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. These are things that you guys got to discuss amongst yourselves. But for right now, Jake has access. Greg has access. He can add and remove stuff, videos, share screens, photos. The intro and the outro is already loaded, so it's pretty easy. The only thing I can do is set it up, title, description, destinations. I can do that to Rumble, to all that. And that's another thing.
Yeah, Rumble, we're not able to get Rumble.
Here's the problem again. He pays for Rumble. I pay for Rumble. So
But do we have like an account with Rumble or
he does.
credit with Rumble?
He does. But again, I don't know if that's going to stay up forever. It might, because you can stream. So Rumble has its limitations, like how many ad streams you can add at one time. It's technical, but I don't think Rumble's going to be an issue. I honestly don't think.
Rumble today.
Huh?
Greg was looking around and he said he couldn't get Rumble today. Let's say we do a show today,
Uh huh.
right? How do we get Rumble on there?
I added as a I added. Oh, you guys can't do it. I only have access to Rumble. I always add it.
How do you add it? Can you tell us how you do that?
It's technical. You got to go to Rumble, fill out all the information on the search warrant page in Rumble, add the thumbnail, and then you finish that process, and then you go back to StreamYard, and it's there. Then you can add it as a destination. You pick it off the list for the destination. It's a little tricky. The point is, you guys don't have to worry about it. If you guys email me the title, description, I can set it up anytime.
Okay, we waited for Ralph to get back to us, so.
Hold on a second. Sounds like somebody's banging on my door. Hold on. What the fuck was that? It's like somebody's banging on my door. What are you doing? Why are you banging on the door? How could you not get in? How's that possible? If you got out, you could get in. I'll be right back, Jade, Anna, and Greg.
So, you just want to drop them from the call, Jake?
That's cuckoo. That's cuckoo. All right. Hold on, Mike. All right, so getting back to this. So, what we should do is, first of all, you guys talk about creating the StreamYard account in the future. I don't think it'd be foolish to start a search warrant page over on Rumble because it's already got a following. You know what I mean? Oh, they're gone. They hung up. Oh, God. Hopefully they'll call me back. Anyway, good morning. This is how my morning starts. They are good friends of mine. But we have to get some facts out because there's a lot of convoluting. There's a lot of BS out there. And it really has to stop because people are being misled about facts. The facts that they want to believe, they're led to believe or misled due to politics and party or people in charge, administration, it doesn't matter what party it is, what administration, because they all do it. That's not to debate here. But to say that Iran will never acquire or possess a nuclear weapon like this is new, that this didn't happen during the JCPOA during Obama, is an absolute blatant lie. This changes nothing. Nothing. The JCPOA was actually better, way better than anything he's even talking about. Yesterday he diminished, saying, oh, the uranium, you know what, it doesn't even really have much worth. Like, what? And I don't want to go crazy because we haven't seen the details of the MOU. They say it's leaking out, it's coming out, blah, 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 blah. Until I see it Friday or today or whenever J.D. Vance says it's going to come out, then we can reach a conclusion because we really don't know the details. But this is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit on so many levels. Iran won the war. We surrendered. We surrendered to Iran. I don't know if you realize that. He has capitulated in so many ways, and I told people, be careful with this. Oh, but he's got a plan. It's 4D chess. He has weakened us in so many areas, militarily, economically. People lost their lives. Global embarrassment, morale to our military. Do you realize what he's done? This is the worst I've seen a president do since Bush with Iraq. Forget about Afghanistan withdrawal. That didn't affect this like this. Forget about Benghazi. Don't even compare. This is Iran and the region and the world. So let's take a look. The disaster, the weak, oh my God, absolutely a disgrace. This is the JCPOA, the agreement with all these countries involved. Forget about just us. All the countries were involved to monitor, to surveil, inspectors, just like he's probably going to do again with the IAEA. This was comprehensive. It took 2 years to make this happen with Iran, to work out the details. I don't know what 60 days is going to do. But it clearly says here, under no circumstances will Iran ever seek, develop, or acquire any nuclear weapons. So what the freak has changed that he's saying that this didn't have? Tell me, folks. Tell me what he's saying now is different from what this existed when he pulled us out. People were going crazy. Oh, great, he pulled us out. They're going to build a nuclear weapon. Wrong. Wrong. He did it because he couldn't stand Obama, and Obama made the deal. That's what it comes down to. His obsession with Obama. And his followers love it, but they believe like a Pied Piper everything this man says. And they're misled. Like this. Because they believe everything he says. And it's disgusting. So you can download the JCPOA yourselves and look at all the details. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. All the things that were in here. It's unbelievable. And they had monitors, they had surveillance equipment, cameras, inspectors on the ground at their facilities, Natanz, Fordow. Now people might say, but they were enriching uranium. Wrong. At a low level. Guess when they started to enrich the uranium at 60%? In 2021. When the president pulled out, they tried to hold on Iran. They tried to hold on. Iran tried to work with the other countries to keep it going. And they said, you know what, screw this. The United States is not having anything to do with it. So what happens? And you could download this. It is sick when you read this compared to what we're hearing today about a deal. How excellent this deal was. It's never going to be as good as this. And it's not going to be. And even they talk about Natanz converting it. It gets into all of it in here. You need to do the facts, do the research, get the document, read it. I was flipping out, and it's extensive. Look, the IAEA will be requested to monitor, to verify voluntary nuclear-related measures as detailed in the JCPOA. This goes into all the measures to monitor, to surveil, to have inspectors on the ground. What's going on at Natanz, because it's mentioned in here. It's just unbelievable. It's unfucking believable. Long-term agreed to keep it at a peaceful level, R&D, but they would monitor it. People say, well, they started it. Well, how come they got all this enriched uranium? Because the dumbass pulled us out of it, and Iran went crazy in 2021. Which Iran begins enriching uranium to 60%. Oh no, this can't happen right now. April, what?
You busy?
I'm very busy right now. Why?
I'm talking about the music right now.
All right, we'll talk later because I'm doing a live stream about Iran. Iran begins enrichment. This is Monday, April 2021. After they notified the IAEA of its intention to do so, And this is enrichment to 60% is being carried out on 2 Cascades centrifuges at the Natanz because they said, screw that, we're going to highly enrich uranium. And not only is this, don't just trust the article. It's in the IAEA document that I've talked about for months. Months. When Iran said, screw this, you're out, no more inspectors, no more surveillance, no more cameras. And that's when they went fucking ballistic with their enrichment to 60%. Because dumbass pulled us out of the JCPOA because he couldn't stand Obama. It really comes down to that. That's how petty he is. It was because Obama did it. And his followers believe everything he says. Everything. Of course. He can say no lie and mislead. Did you see the comments coming out of France, out of his mouth? It was so shocking how he responded. It looks like he's losing his mind. It looks like he's losing his fucking mind. Capitulating. And everybody says, but he's guaranteeing that they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. It was in the fucking language in the JCPOA with all the countries involved. It was a world international watchdog on Iran. Where are we now? We don't even know what the hell's going to happen here. Oh, because, and now he's saying, oh, the uranium, well, it's not so important. What? That's not what you said. Access unfrozen assets, sanction relief, immediate oil. Iran can, that hasn't happened in a decade. Immediate lifting of, they have freedom of their oil sales. Is it what? Iran is going to become a behemoth in the Middle East because of this idiot. I have to say it, and I hate disrespecting. Because of this imbecile, Iran is going to become stronger, more powerful, emboldened, everything in that region, because what he just did. And some Republicans are saying, we got to see this. We need to vote on this. So Republicans, just like we talk about Starmer, Macron being weak, Republicans, stop abiding. Stop following it. Say something. It's not about party. It's about country. Stop it. Stop it. What's right is right. What's wrong is wrong. Stand up. Do something. Don't go along with this. It's madness. So again, this is when it happened. You know, the governments of France, Germany, and UK responded to Iran's enrichment to 60%. So remember when this is happening. After he pulls out of the JCPOA, the other countries tried to keep Iran part of the deal, the JCPOA. And then Iran said, screw this. We're out. Now they start enriching to this high level. It didn't happen. Happened, of course, on the Biden 2021. But then he didn't have no control because the president had pulled us out of the deal. President Trump pulled us out of the deal to begin with. There's nothing we can do. He stopped it. Biden tried to renegotiate with them. And that's why you hear the president say, spin it and say something else. To try to get the United States back involved, Iran said, no way. Because Iran sees us as a flip-flop. One administration does this, the next administration does this, it goes back to here, it goes back to here, it goes... They can't rely. There's no consistency on policy. And this is the problem. This is a big problem. And people need to wake up and see it for what it is, a disaster. Absolute disaster. Because when he says, oh, Iran will never have a nuclear weapon or acquire a nuclear weapon or buy a nuclear weapon, that was in the JCPOA already. So what's different? What's different? The what's different, what makes me worry. I'm really pissed. I have to tell you, I am pissed beyond when I heard his comments out of France about this. He sounded like an absolute imbecile. It was embarrassing. Straight up embarrassing. It's embarrassing. He's looks so weak. I don't want to hear about Obama anymore. I don't want to hear about Biden anymore. He has portrayed himself to look so fucking weak. At least on this, which is he's gonna be remembered for this. This is gonna be what people remember him for. The disaster that he put us involved and made the whole issue worse. And I thought he was going to be the one to make things better and be change for the region and actually make the change. Oh, he even said, this was never about regime change. That's not what you said. Go back to the clip on February 26th, what he said. February 26th, go back to that clip, what he said. And he actually addressed the Iranian people directly. You want to look for that clip? See what he says? And look where we are now. It is so embarrassing. And people need to wake up and smell or drink the coffee or do something. Stop making excuses for this man. It's sickening. Because I see some people even that I know, but some people that are talking on podcasts and all this, show the people the truth. Like, and by the way, speak the truth. Prayers for you, recovery, which dealing with your medical mat. I hope you and your family are well. But again, look, Iran reaffirms that under no circumstance will Iran ever seek, develop, or acquire a nuclear weapon. This is JCPOA. This is JCPOA. The preface of it, just look who all the countries that were involved. China, France, Germany, Russia, UK, and the United States, with the high representative of the EU and the Islamic Republic of Iran, welcomed this historic joint comprehensive, and he fucked it up because he didn't like it because Obama did it. That's what it comes down to. That's how petty he is. He thought he could make a better deal than Obama. And guess who influenced him on that decision? Bibi Netanyahu. You want to talk about Israel? You want to talk about his influence on him pulling out of the JCPOA? You people need to do the research and stop covering up for the bullshit and deal with the facts, because it has to stop. Oh my God. Well, with the JCPOA, which will ensure that Iran's nuclear program will be exclusively peaceful, 3% enrichment. And did you see like the nuclear program is status quo while this is going on? What? And I bet you they're going to allow them to enrich at civilian levels like this did. Who God only knows what he's negotiating with them over the enriched uranium. Did you see his comment from France? It's not even that important what happens to it. What? Where did that come from? Now, again, I don't want to speculate what the actual memorandum of understanding does until I see it for myself, and not what the media is portraying or social media or anything else. I got to see it for myself. Why isn't he showing it? Why, if it's already digitally signed, why are they not showing? J.D. Vance, because it may be sensitive to the Qataris and some people in the Muslim community. What? Since when are you so worried about them? Show the American people. That's why I won't vote for him. I'm voting for Rubio. I would never vote for J.D. Vance. He looks like the weakest person I've ever seen. He looks like he's like a mush in the head. That scares me more. And it says here, they anticipate the full implementation of the JCPOA which will positively contribute to regional and international peace and security. Iran reaffirms that under no circumstances will Iran ever seek, develop, or acquire any nuclear weapons. Does this not sound familiar to all you people that you're hearing right now? It's the same shit. It's the same thing. Same thing, same language JCPOA had. But now it's unilateral. It's not international. You had the international community behind it with their inspectors, with their assistance in this. He thinks he can do better by himself? This is a disaster. You people don't realize what kind of a disaster we're getting involved in here. I just pray that the agreement doesn't happen. Exactly. There was no point. This is his main talking point right here. This is his main talking point. Iran will never acquire, seek, or possess a nuclear weapon. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Well, will Iran ever, under no circumstances will Iran ever seek, develop, or acquire nuclear weapons. It's in the language of the JCPOA. I would like to hear people complain about this now. Unless you do the research and you look it up yourself and get the documents and then you see the language and then you say, oh shit. People believe everything they hear and see, but they don't do the research to look at the details. That's what's sad. That's the sad part. They just believe everything they're told. It's usually political. I get it. Both sides. Both sides. It's not just one side. Both sides. All the way. That's why I'm a fucking independent, because I can't take it anymore. And that's even bad, because then you got to pick and choose your poison. The lesser of. You should download the document. You should download the document because it's extensive. It took a couple of years to do this. Even getting rid of their centrifuges. And it mentions Fordow. It mentions Natanz. And this was 15-year plan. And then they would revisit it after 15 years and go over the agreement again. But look at the percentage. Keep its level of enrichment up to 3.67% and at Fordow. It was for civilian, and it was being monitored, and it was being surveilled with cameras, and they had inspectors on the ground until he decides to pull us out because he has some hard-on for Obama, just like his followers, because they believe everything he says without looking at the facts and doing the research and seeing exactly what he has no idea what the hell he's talking about. Because a lot of the time it doesn't look like he knows anything he's talking about, because it's like he talks like a person from junior high school. Like he really has researched things? You really think so? He doesn't even fucking read. Give me a break. This is embarrassing. And I can't wait to see what this memorandum looks like Friday, because for some reason they don't want to release it yet. For some reason. And again, 3.67, this doesn't say 60. This doesn't say that. Now, look. All remaining uranium oxide enriched between 5 and 20 will be fabricated into fuel. In other words, water, like mixed down. Even the 20%. And remember, when did they start going cray-cray again? It is a surrender document, Thomas. It is the most embarrassing, disgusting thing I've seen the United States ever do in a policy, foreign policy. This is the worst. It doesn't get worse than this. I have not seen it in my lifetime how bad this is. I mean, we withdrew from Afghanistan, by the way, which was signed to make that happen by President Trump in the first administration. Biden totally batched it and just made hell of it because it was rushed. But that's because if you look at that, look who ordered the withdrawal and the time frame. It was President Trump. See, people they take things out of context and they say, well, they focus on the shiny object, but look how the process started. People don't look at the details. They only want to see and hear what they want to hear and see. That's the fucking problem. And I'm so pissed. So pissed. I am livid. And people will still make excuses. They'll find a way. They will find a way to make excuses for him. This is an absolute, utter disaster. This affected our military, our stockpile. We lost 15 people. Billions and billions of dollars spent. Bases struck and hit. The region, the Strait of Hormuz falling in the hands of Iran's control. Can we go on? Israel is under more threat than ever because they've been put in a corner. How has this made better? China and Russia are laughing at us, mocking us. This has been an embarrassment on so many levels. I can't even say them all because I am so pissed. And people have the nerve to defend it. Oh, but he's going to get rid of all the nukes and they're never going to have a nuclear weapon. Wake up. Wake up. That's not new. That's not new. Don't spin it. It was there before. That's not new. They anticipate the full implementation of the JCPOA will positively contribute to regional international peace and security. Iran reaffirms that under no circumstances will Iran ever seek, develop, or acquire any nuclear weapons. But he canceled it. He pulled it out. So that became no more. And in 2021, even though Biden tried to re-enter and get back involved in this, Iran said, fuck you. Too late. And they blamed it on President Trump. Iran. And what did they do after that? Started enriching uranium at 60% at a crazy price. So let's think about it. How come Iran came so close to developing a nuclear weapon with this logic when they were rapidly increasing their uranium enrichment to 60%? It's when President Trump pulled us out of the JCPOA and they said, screw it. Now we're gonna ramp it up. Now we're gonna do it. And for almost 5 years, we didn't know what Iran was doing because they said, get the fuck out. No more inspectors. Get your cameras out of here. Get your surveillance shit. We're out of the JCPOA. Bye-bye. See ya. And that's when they went nuts. So when you hear Iran was close to a nuclear weapon, they were so fast developing on the nuclear under the Biden administration. No, it's because you pulled us out. Iran said, fuck you, and they started enriching uranium at 60%. Let's get the facts right. Let's get the facts right. It was you that started this whole chain of events. And now you brought us full circle back to point now, and you made it worse than this. That's what's going on. Bottom line, truth, reality. And people need to swallow it, whether you like it or not. Those are the facts. Not opinion. Facts matter. Look on the screen. Would you like to see the IAEA report that says the same thing? About when they started to enrich the uranium at a high level in 2021, when they threw out all the surveillance and everything? And for 5 years they couldn't monitor what the hell was going on in Iran? No wonder they were doing the highly enriched uranium at 60%. And he has the nerve to say, well, they were rapidly developing on the Biden and whatever to race to get to a nuclear weapon. Because you started the process by pulling us out of the JCPOA. You caused this problem in your first administration. And that's why we're here. So people need to wake the... Ooh, it gets me so pissed when I see what people are saying. And you hear Republicans saying, well, we backed the president for Iran not having a nuclear weapon. Ever. You trying to tell us that's new? Is that the spin you're trying to tell us? That he's doing something that no other person did or there was nothing there before? What a bunch of bullshit. They're trying to sell it like it's new. That this is some new concept. It was in the language of the JCPOA. And they were watching Natanz, Fordow, all these places you hear about that were under scrutiny and hit with Midnight Hammer. They had surveillance there. They had monitors there. They had inspectors there until they threw it all out. When he pulled out. That's when they started enriching at 60% like crazy. That's why they rapidly developed it. I can prove it with the IAEA document to go along with what you just seen on the screen. Facts matter. Not opinion, not speculation, not bullshit. That's where the truth lies. Now we have to see what this thing looks like. The actual memorandum of understanding, how bad it is. It's going to be way worse than JCPOA. Most likely. I can't say for sure because I got to see it. I'm not believing all these posts, 14 points and all this shit. Wall Street Journal, whatever is coming out with, Bloomberg coming out with this. I have to see it for myself. Do you realize some of the talk is that they're going to have access to $300 billion, Iran? $300 billion. I don't believe that. That better not be true. That better not be true. And then they're immediately going to be able to sell their oil. We're going to rebuild Iran. After we so-called decimated them, we're giving them the unbelievable lifeline. Not only that, we're going to make them stronger than they ever were. This is sick. And like I said, Republicans in Congress, I know some of them are starting to say something. You better step up. You better step up. You need to see this. I don't even know if they've seen the Memorandum of Understanding. Can you believe that? Congress doesn't even know. Why are they keeping it? I could see it to the public, but you're not even letting Congress see it? Is that true? Hi, Witch Moon. And I am not doing this in a political way. I'm just providing you documents. I mean, that is the JCPOA agreement. And I'm pissed. I am so livid. I just had coffee and I feel sick over this. I feel sick. Iran is celebrating. And all these other people out there that are doing podcasts, there are a few that are keeping it real. Despite they're going to get criticized and attacked, all that, at least they're keeping it real. And not some false hope or wishful thinking that he knows that this deal is a bad deal and he's just biding time so that when Iran doesn't agree to it, which I don't think, I said that from the beginning. I don't think Iran is ever going to sign that final deal anyway. But if it's as sugar as it is, why wouldn't they? This is like handing them the whole fucking cake, not a slice of the cake, the whole damn thing. Because to them, they're going to be in the same position as they were with the JCPOA, but they're going to get a whole bunch of goodies to go along with it this time. What? Because I said it, and a lot of people in chat said it, it looks like he wants a deal so badly. Oh no, this is all strategy. This is all part of his plan, his 4D chess. Well, sure doesn't look it now, does it? It was always that way, the off-ramp to get out of this. It's always been that way in his mind. Do you know how many times he's probably rejected, and I'm assuming, but there is one report that he held back. They were ready. The military was ready to go in and try to retrieve that uranium. He said no. He said no. I don't even want to repeat myself about the blunder of the Strait of Hormuz or the blunder of sending arms to the Iranian people during the protests, regardless of who the fuck it was. Or the boats, which I saved that post. We didn't consider them a threat, so we didn't go after them. And that was April 13th. 6 weeks after it all started, he didn't go after the Mosquito fleet. Do you want to? We can keep going on the blunders in this whole thing as it was. But regardless of that, we're where we're at now. It's a mess. It is a mess. And like I said, I don't want to speculate because this is part of dealing with facts. We're dealing with facts right now. And I don't want to throw in, the speculation about what the memorandum is until we all see it. Then we can reach an opinion honestly on it. But I'm not going to speculate because I see so much shit on social media, or I don't watch the news, so I can't imagine what the media spin is on this. Or lack of media coverage on it because they don't want people to know what the hell is going on, how bad this looks. I am sick. I'm nauseous. I'm seriously nauseous. He says here, This agreement, this is what he said in France. I have the clip. The agreement is not final. Well, you signed it. It's a memorandum of understanding to meet to negotiate. There is no agreement. There is no deal. I guess that's what he's referring to. They have to actually sit down and negotiate the terms and specifics. And at the end of the day, if he doesn't like what they're saying, or if Iran doesn't like what the United States is saying, then it's game back on. That's what a lot of people are hoping for. Meanwhile, Iran gets money and all this shit in the meantime. When I say money, oil revenue, God only knows what else. He said this, quote, "The agreement is not final." Remember when I read this, you got to interpret it. It's not literal. He probably means the negotiations. This is a memorandum of understanding. If I don't like it, we will go back to shooting at them, dropping bombs on their head. If I don't like it, if they don't behave, we'll go right back to dropping bombs. Dropping bombs smack in the middle of their head, okay? What a way to go into negotiations talking like that, right? Iran is going to say, we can't trust this guy. It's madness. He said that in France, and I'm sure there's a bunch of clips. And that's what's making the news right now. What I just read to you. It's all over. Look at it. Look. Let's just listen to this clip. Him saying this. I was freaking out when I saw this yesterday. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. Listening to this madness. I swear to God, I thought I was going to lose it. Listen.
We're dealing with people that I think are very rational people. And they were nice to deal with. They were strong people, smart people. I think actually they're smarter than the first and second group. But they're not radicalized, and they're, looking to help their country.
Want to hear that again? Like, what the fuck? What did he say?
We're dealing with people that I think are very rational people. And they were nice to deal with. They were strong people, smart people. I think actually they're smarter than the first and second group. But they're not radicalized, and they're, looking to help their country.
So are you. Oh my God. They're not radicalized? Are they playing him to the fullest? Like he believes that they're not radicalized? I mean, this is scary. Okay.
Why can't they see? Why can't we all see the MOU right now?
Well, yeah. So first of all, the president said by the latest Friday, possibly as early as tomorrow, we're going to release the memorandum of understanding text. The reason why we haven't released it yet is there are some delicate diplomatic things going on where the Iranians, and not just the Iranians, but some of our mediators, the Pakistanis and the Qataris, have asked us to sequence this in the right way. I don't, frankly, fully understand it, but there are sensitivities that exist in the Arab and Muslim world that we're trying to be responsive to. Fundamentally, does it really matter if the deal comes out on Wednesday versus Friday? No. That's why we haven't emphasized it so much, is because at the very latest, the text is going to be out on Friday.
Okay. Yeah. And, I mean, you've already signed it, but it's not like legally binding to where you can't undo it. It's a diplomatic agreement. So it's
correct.
If people freak out, there's an utter meltdown here in the United States. It could always be undone if you change your.
Oh, yeah. There's a fucking meltdown going on right now. You better believe that, Megan. Did you see how he's appeasing them? This looks like we're weak and we're appeasing them. Is that a power of strength position? Show the American people, fuck what they think. We want to see it. Fuck what the Pakistanis, Qataris, or anybody else thinks. Show the American people. That's J.D. Vance yesterday on Megyn Kelly's show.
Mr. President, if the Iranian regime continues to kill their own people, will you still move ahead with this deal?
If they refuse to what with their people?
If they continue to kill their own people, the Iranian
Well, we talk to them about it, and we see. I will say the majority of that took place during the first and second regimes, much more so than now.
What?
It was much more severe, but it's a terrible thing. Yeah, do you have a question?
He just minimized what's going on in Iran to the Iranian people. He's calling it the first and second regime. It's not as much now as it was in the beginning during the first, when they were killing thousands and thousands of people. Oh my God. He just minimized it. He's legitimizing this regime by saying that. They're not doing as much now. It's a terrible thing. That is fucking embarrassing. I am so disgusted. When I saw those clips coming from France yesterday, I thought I was going to have a heart attack. Seriously, I thought I was going to have a heart attack, what he was saying. That's just a few clips. You have to see what else he says. Listen to it again. It's so maddening.
Mr. President, if the Iranian regime continues to kill their own people, will you still move ahead with this deal?
If they refuse to what with their people?
If they continue to kill their own people.
They continue to kill their own people.
We talked to them about it.
We talked to them about it.
I will say the majority of that took place during the first and second regimes, much more so than now. It was much more severe, but it's a terrible thing. Yeah, do you have a question?
Oh my God. Oh my God. If Biden said that, the 25th Amendment, if Biden said those words, the 25th Amendment would immediately be brought up on the floor. Just to be fair. That is absolutely fucking cray-cray, what he just said. 25th Amendment all the way. You have to wonder, what is he thinking? What is he talking about? That's scary. Seriously, that is scary. That's 25th Amendment shit. You have to think. We have to think about the security of our country. And if this is how he thinks, and this is how he speaks, you have to be worried. And if this is this situation, I'm scared. I'm the nervous wreck now. I was so sick with Biden. I'm getting really sick with this. I have to be honest. I don't know. I'm like, this is bad. This is bad. And nobody can sugarcoat it. I don't want to hear nobody sugarcoat it. Look.
It's in the low 70s now, right?
That's right.
That's amazing. So that's what speaks louder than words. The alternative would be a worldwide depression. You know, the stupid people want to have a worldwide depression. And they're stupid people. So you can only go so far. You drive somebody into the ground and a lot of bad things happen. Number one, the Strait would never open because they don't like floating billion-dollar ships up and down a strait when there are rockets flying over them and mines all over the place. So
why are there rockets flying all over the place and mines in the water that nobody wants to travel? I thought you had complete control of the strait. Because it comes down to the money to get the strait open. Because it would cause a global depression. That's what he's concerned about. And he should be. But who started it? Who caused it? Who didn't strategically make sure that that strait was controlled? He did. He caused this. And it came down to the strait. How many times did you hear me say that? Did you just hear, and I got to play the whole clip. Did you just hear what he just said? Stupid people. What's stupid is you let that strait fall in their hands and let them use it as a card. That's stupid. Don't blame other people. Take responsibility. Have some balls. Take some responsibility. Always other people's fault. It's never his. It's always others. This makes me, I'm telling you, I'm going to cringe. I'm going to flip. This is just a few pieces. I'm going to play it again, the whole thing.
In the low 70s now, right?
That's right.
That's amazing. So that's what speaks. That's
global market manipulation. He's talking that the gas price, the barrel has gone down to the 70s, which is true. It's coming down. That's great.
Speaks louder than words. The alternative would be a worldwide depression. You know, the stupid people want to have a worldwide depression. And they're stupid people. So you can only go so far. You drive somebody into the ground and a lot of bad things happen. Number one, the strait would never open because they don't like floating billion-dollar ships up and down a strait when there are rockets flying over them and mines all over the place. So the strait would never be open. It wouldn't be open for a long time. So we have We have a very hot stock market, and we have starting to be a very low oil price. And
So the Strait became the blackmail of Iran to make you negotiate and agree to a fucking deal. That's how weak this looks. He admitted it. The Strait would never open because of the rockets. But I thought their military was completely decimated. Or they didn't have the ability to lay mines because we got all their big naval vessels, 159 at the bottom of the sea. Do you see what I'm saying? This is insane. I don't know how anybody could defend this. It's coming out of his own mouth. It's indefensible. And you didn't even hear the clip about regime change. Oh my God. It was never about regime change. I didn't care about regime change. That's not what he said on February 26th. Go look at that clip. It's not what he said. And now there's death to America, Hezbollah chanting death to America, death to Israel on the streets of Lebanon. It's going to become even worse. This is going to turn into such a bad situation. It's only emboldened them. This is bad, and I don't know what the Israelis are going to do. No idea. Oh my God. Oh my God. When I see these clips, and I heard him yesterday, I wish I had all the clips. It's a disgrace. Let me see if I can find it on X. I'm telling you, I am so lividly pissed. I can't even tell you. We have to see the details. I don't want to trust anything. I don't want to see anything that the media, anything, social media posts. Nothing. I'm trying to see what he said about regime change. Then we need to go back to February 26th, what he said. People have short-term memories. It's not what he said. It's not what he endorsed. People might say that now.
Well, it's 75 degrees.
Alexa, stop. And you know that he denied Israel to see the memorandum of understanding? They told him, no, you can't see it. Even to Israel, you can't see it. But Israel's part of it, but they can't see it. It's Lebanon. We don't have the right to see it. It has to do with us. Alexa, stop. This is madness. It is fucking madness. And that's why I said I don't want to get too crazy, because right now I'm shaking. I'm actually shaking my feet. I got to see what happens Friday, or today even, maybe, because they said they could release it today. Oh, God. Hold on.
Funded by Gulf allies. That's false.
It's false.
President, press the MOU that's been reported includes.
Have I read it?
Well, it's been reported that it includes. Its
Did he even read it?
$1 billion construction fund funded by Gulf allies. That's false.
It's false.
there
People, you can invest if you want. I mean, what am I going to do? Say nobody's ever allowed to invest? No, we're not investing. We're not putting up 10 cents, and people can decide to do that, but that's up to them. I mean, Do you want me to say nobody's ever allowed to?
Okay, so here's the catch with that. How much does the United States itself have in frozen assets against Iran? How much does the international community have frozen that they can't get access to? And that's where the money is. Most of the Iranian money is held that way. So he just said if they want to do it, that's up to them. So that means that it's going to be open to access. That's what he's saying. So you got to see how much, Alexa, how much does the United States have frozen assets for Iran?
The United States has about $2 billion
$2 billion.
assets frozen, including $50 million in real estate. Want to know more about how these assets
Alexa,
are
stop.
being used?
So we're a small sliver of actual frozen Iranian assets as far as the U.S. control is. But it's about the banks internationally. And these countries, to get access to it, to start unfreezing those assets to Iran. There's the catch, what he's saying. It's up to them. If they want to do it, that's up to them.
Invest in a country? I'll say it with Egypt. Nobody's allowed to invest in Egypt. Am I supposed to say that?
I'm asking whether.
We are not investing in it, and we do not have a fund.
Are you asking Gulf countries?
No,
to
I'm
have a
not.
fund?
I'm not. If they do it, fine. But I would say they won't be doing it for a while until they find out the behavior. It's a behavior thing. But we are not investing. That's a false story that got picked up incorrectly from a statement that was pretty well made, I think. Maybe a little bit, could have been a little more accurate, frankly. But it's a
little more
story.
accurate?
We are not investing 10 cents.
We're not investing.
Don't forget, there's never been anybody that's been so tough on Iran.
Oh.
This should have been done by Clinton and Barack Hussein Obama.
It was.
Should have been done by Biden. It should have been done
It was.
by
You blew it.
Bush. It could have been done by a lot of people. This has been going on for
And
47
look,
years.
you got to see the Egyptian's response.
They
He's
ripped
like,
you off for 47
he's almost
years,
laughing.
And I'm the only one that did anything about it. They never shot missiles at anybody. We wiped out their Navy. We wiped out their military. We wiped out their Air Force.
so why is the strait closed?
They have no anti-aircraft. They have no radar.
So then why can't you take the Gulf?
You know, the reason oil stayed low is because we were taking ships out every night that you didn't even know about. 2 days ago, 3 days ago, a month ago, we took out 22 ships.
Wow.
From 15
The
to
normal
25
traffic
ships
a
a
day
night.
is like
Nobody knows
120.
Our Navy did a great job. Nobody knew what was happening. That's why oil didn't go to $300 a barrel. It went to 125, 115. Now it's at 72, 73. I heard it's lower than that now. I haven't seen it in the last couple of hours. No, we were very tough, and we took out a man named Soleimani. Remember that? You know, you think this would have happened if you were alive?
That was your first
The
time.
evil genius. He was an evil genius. People forget that. I took out Soleimani.
You got to see the
in my
Egyptian
first term.
guy's
Without
response
that,
while
you
he's
don't have-
talking.
Probably you don't have the situation that we're in today where we
Look.
dominated. We dominated. We wiped out their military. And because we did that, and then we put up the blockade, which was totally effective. Not one ship got by.
Not one ship. That's totally bullshit. That's a lie. That's a lie. China's going to be very happy because, you know, they allowed the tankers for the Chinese to go through, and others were sneaking oil through as well. Don't take my word for it. Tanker tracker, whatever the fuck. This is an embarrassment. Hey, look.
Again, I don't believe the regime change. You know, I've watched regime changes for years. They never work. It has to just happen. I can tell you this is a country where the emir is so respected and the prime minister is so respected by the people, and that's the way a country. So, again, I don't believe the regime change. You know, I've watched regime changes for years. They never work. It has to just happen. I can tell you this is a country where the emir is so respected
I
and
can't
the prime
take it.
minister is so
I
respected
can't take it.
by the people.
Now we need to see February 26th. It's not what he said. When he was supporting the Iranian people. Oh my God. This is it. I gotta find it. You guys gotta hear it. I don't know. That's gonna be very difficult to find that clip. I'm so disgusted. I can't. I'm really puking. Like, it's making me nauseous. And I don't think I'm going to be able to find that clip. Because everything's about what's going on now, what he said in France. You have to hear it, though. You have to go back to what he was saying before this started. But everything's about the G7. Maybe I should look at it another way instead of going on X. And it has to be on the 26th. It's going to be very, very difficult to find. Maybe YouTube has it. I'm not going to... I wish I can get the transcript. Somebody might be able to get it in the chat. I can't believe you said it. I can't believe it. This is a defeat. The ceasefire was a mistake because he thought the ceasefire was going to immediately open the strait, and Iran did not do it. This is humiliating. And Americans should be outraged. And the Democrats are just going to get everything they need now. They're going to use this like you can't imagine. That's the sad part of it, too. They're going to politicize it. Instead of, you know, for the best of the country. They won't. But I don't blame them because they did the same thing reversed. It happens both ways. That's why I say it happens both ways. But it's a sad thing. I wish I could find that freaking statement. This is March 2nd. This is March 2nd, so I don't think this is going to be what I want. Because he said it on February 26th.
Nobody's seen anything like it. It was announced that we knocked out 9 ships and had the blood of hundreds and even thousands of Americans on his hands, celebrating in the streets when his death, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved. We have very strong objectives. They could have done something to have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives. We pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case. But America will avenge their deaths and deliver the most punishing blow to the terrorists who have waged war against basically civilization. They have waged war against civilization itself. Our resolve, and likewise that of Israel, has never been stronger. America is now again the richest, most powerful nation in the world by far. But the only reason we enjoy the quality of life that we do and the freedom and security is we have done things that others are unable to do. But it's because of warriors who are willing to lay down their lives to do battle with our enemies. And they do battle better than anybody. An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be a dire threat to every American.
Forget about missiles.
We cannot
now.
allow a nation that raises terrorist armies to possess such weapons that would allow them to extort the world to their evil will. Not going to let it happen. We're not happening to us, and we're not going to let it happen to others. The United States has the strongest military the world has ever seen. I rebuilt our military in my first term. There's never been a military like we possess. And frankly, there's nobody even close, but we are now using that military for good. We want to have it for good purpose. We're undertaking this massive operation not merely to ensure security for our own time and place, but for our children and their children, just as our ancestors have done for us many, many years ago. This is the duty and the burden of a free people. These actions are right and they are necessary to ensure that Americans will never have to face a radical, bloodthirsty terrorist regime armed with nuclear weapons and lots of threats. For almost 50 years, these wicked extremists have been attacking the United States while chanting the slogan, "Death to America," or "Death to Israel," or both. They are the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. We are the world's greatest and most powerful nation, so we can do something about what they do. These intolerable threats will not continue any longer. I once again urge the Revolutionary
Guard.
That's
one thing. That's one. That was March 2nd. Listen to what he was saying at the beginning.
Just as the strikes began, President...
Hold on, let me play his clip. This is
very hard, terrible people. Iranian regime, imminent threat in people by activists in Iran.
Hold on.
Combat began.
Hold on.
Its military began. The United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas,
they hit our bases.
and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted "Death to America" and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder, targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, holding dozens of American hostages for 444 days. In 1983, Iran's proxies carried out the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut that killed 241 American military personnel.
I'm going to get into that.
In 2000, they knew and were probably involved with the attack on the USS Cole. Many died. Iranian forces killed and maimed hundreds of American service members in Iraq. The regime's proxies have continued to launch countless attacks against American forces stationed in the Middle East in recent years, as well as U.S. naval and commercial vessels in international shipping lanes. It's been mass terror, and we're not going to put up with it any longer. From Lebanon to Yemen and Syria to Iraq, the regime has armed, trained, and funded terrorist militias that have soaked the earth with blood and guts. And it was Iran's proxy, Hamas, that launched the monstrous October 7th
rational
attacks
back
on
then.
Israel, slaughtering more than 1,000 innocent people, including 46 Americans, while taking 12 of our citizens hostage. It was brutal, something like the world has never seen before. Iran is the world's #1 state sponsor of terror and just recently killed tens of thousands of its own citizens on the street as they protested. It has always been the policy of the United States, in particular, my administration, that this terrorist regime can never have a nuclear weapon. I'll say it again. They can never have a nuclear weapon. That is why in Operation Midnight Hammer last June, we obliterated the regime's nuclear program at Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. After that attack, we warned them never to resume their malicious pursuit of nuclear weapons, and we sought repeatedly to make a deal. We tried. They wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. Again, they wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. They didn't know what was happening.
Not with you.
They just wanted to practice evil. But Iran refused, just as it has for decades and decades.
Lie.
They've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions.
Lie.
And we can't take it anymore. Instead, they attempted to rebuild their nuclear program and to continue developing long-range missiles that can now threaten our very good friends and allies in Europe, our troops stationed overseas, and could soon reach the American homeland. Just imagine how emboldened this regime would be if they ever had and actually were armed with nuclear weapons as a means to deliver their message. For these reasons, the United States military is undertaking a massive and ongoing operation to prevent this very wicked, radical dictatorship from threatening America and our core national security interests. We are going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated. We're going to annihilate their Navy. We're going to ensure that the region's terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the region or the world.
That's not happening now.
And attack our forces and no longer use their IEDs or roadside bombs, as they are sometimes called, to so gravely wound and kill thousands and thousands of people, including many Americans. And we will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. It's a very simple message. They will never have a nuclear weapon.
Fuck
this
Europe turning their
regime
back.
will soon
He
learn
did this.
that no one should challenge
Can't blame
the strength
Europe.
and might of the United States
He caused
armed
this.
forces.
Cannot blame Europe.
I built and rebuilt our military in my first administration, and there is no military on earth even close to its power, strength, or sophistication. My administration has taken every possible step to minimize the risk to U.S. personnel in the region. Even so, and I do not make this statement lightly, the Iranian regime seeks to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future, and it is a noble mission. We pray for every service member as they selflessly risk their lives to ensure that Americans and our children will never be threatened by a nuclear-armed Iran. We ask God to protect all of our heroes in harm's way, and we trust that, with his help, the men and women of the armed forces will prevail. We have the greatest in the world, and they will prevail. To the members of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, the armed forces, and all of the police, I say tonight that you must lay down your weapons and have complete immunity, or, in the alternative, face certain death. So, lay down your arms. You will be treated fairly with total immunity, or you will face certain death. Finally, to the great, proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take.
That is regime change. When we are finished, you will take to the streets and take back your country. Remember that? This is 3 months ago. Look where we are now. Look how he blundered the strait. And yeah, people saying, oh, but what about Europe? He is the one that started this unilaterally. From day one, the priority should have been to keep the strait open. They did not do it. They screwed it up. They blundered it. You want to see a reference? I keep putting this up. And we're not done by any stretch. By any stretch. How he has totally screwed this up. Even Republicans in Congress are freaking out. Let us go back and take a look. Why don't we? April 13th. On how the incompetence of their actions, not the military at all, zero blame on military. April 13th. Iran's navy is laying at the bottom of the sea, completely obliterated, 158 ships. What we have not hit are their small number of what they call fast attack ships, the Mosquito fleet, because we did not consider them much of a threat. You didn't take them out from day one? Those are the ones that are terrorizing the shipping, along with their drones and rockets and everything else. And you heard the clip I played earlier. The strait would be closed. Iran has control of the strait with their rockets and their drones. He said it in France. He admitted it. He admitted it. No, you can't blame Europe. You can't blame nobody. You started it unilaterally. You started this. And they didn't want to get into your shit show. There were blunders from day one. I was saying, I've been streaming about this for months. Every day. Blunders. Blunder after blunder. Strategically. Not the military. Decision making. Who's held accountable when that happens? Commander-in-Chief, just like any other. And remember, you keep hearing him say, Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. Like that's something fucking new. It's not. JCPOA clearly says it. They anticipate the full implementation of this JCPOA will positively contribute to regional and international peace and security. Iran reaffirms that under no circumstances will Iran ever seek, develop, or acquire any nuclear weapons. So this isn't new. They're spinning it like this is something new. He pulled this out of the JCPOA. In 2021 is when Iran started to enrich their uranium at 60%. Because they completely pulled out of the JCPOA. The JCPOA was an international agreement with China, France, Germany, UK, EU, US. All these countries were involved. And they were actually being monitored, surveillance, inspectors on the ground. They threw all this out, and that's when they started to rapidly develop their enrichment to 60%. Biden tried to get back into the JCPOA, but Iran said, no way, we're not doing it. We can't trust you. We can't trust any agreement you do because what happens in 4 years, another administration, you're just going to pull out. This is where the problem is. So when you hear the press or people flip it any way they want because, you know, they're dug in politically, that's not the facts. You should download the PDF of the JCPOA and how it kept them at a 3% enrichment for civilian use and being monitored at Fordow, at Natanz, and their other facilities. Constantly being monitored, surveillance equipment, cameras, inspectors. He pulled this out. Iran said, fuck you. Now we're going to ramp it up. Now we're going to do it. And guess what? For almost 5 years, we didn't know what the hell was going on in Iran because he pulled us out of the deal in his first term. That's when Iran was going crazy with the highly enriched uranium. Those are the facts. You want to know how? I have the IAEA document that says that. Facts matter. Not the bullshit political nonsense that's out there. Facts matter. And it looks, and I'm not going to speculate what the memorandum of understanding, because that's not any, that's just an agreement to negotiate. That's all that is. Just to sit down and talk about things. We have to see what they agree to just to talk. And there's so much stuff out there, speculation, that I'm not going to go into it because I can't trust any of it until I see it for myself and others see it for themselves. This is crazy. And even some Republicans, not, I don't know how many, but remember, and I'm going to show you evidence. This is just an article, though. Iran begins enriching uranium to 60%. This is 2021. And people say, oh, but that's under Biden. Oh, yeah, because they completely pulled out of the JCPOA. And they said, fuck everybody. Now we're going to enrich uranium to 60%. Because he pulled us out of the deal. He started this whole chain of events happening. And that's why Iran was enriching at that level starting in 2021. And they were not being monitored, so we didn't know how much they did, what they were doing. We still don't know exactly, because the IAEA in a document last year says they don't even know exactly what Iran has been doing or what they have or don't have. It's not pro-Iranian. It's fact, race. It's facts. This is not about being a Trump MAGA supporter. This is about facts. It's not about being a Trump supporter or a Democrat. This is about facts. It's not flip-flopping. It's facts. You're a Trump supporter. I get it. He can do no wrong. But this is not good. It's not about flip-flopping. It's about facts. And I can keep putting the facts on the screen. Has nothing to do with politics. Nothing. It has to do with facts. Those are the facts. And we're going to put more documents to provide the facts. This is not about being dug in as a supporter or anti-Trump. This has to do with facts. Whether people want to swallow the truth or not, that's up to them. And deal with the reality of the situation. And not just be dug in and say, make excuses for this man on everything he does. That's not what this is about. It's about facts and this whole thing that's going on right now. I'm not making this up. It's in the language. Anybody could download it. I mean, anybody could spin it. Let me see if I find the document I'm looking for now. It's amazing how people will still make excuses to this day. Even friends. And I don't mind. I flip-flop bro and all this. I don't mind the comments. At least I know I'm spitting facts and not opinions being dug in as a supporter or anti-supporter. Has nothing to do with that. And yeah, it's going to piss some people off, as it should. It should piss people off. Either way. But the facts matter. Okay, let's see if this is the one I'm looking for. Okay, this is the JCPOA. No, this is the IAEA report about the monitoring. So when the JCPOA was put into place, and it says here the implementation day, and up to May 2019, they were verifying and monitoring Iran's implementation of its nuclear-related commitments. Until what happened? President Trump pulls us out of the deal. Okay? Okay? Why weren't you blaming Trump when he went into Iran? Because I thought he was actually going to do something to change. That's why. I believed in Trump. I actually believed in him. I actually did believe that what he was going to do was finish the job. It doesn't look like that right now. Things could change. But again, facts matter on the background of what's going on here. That's what matters. Facts. So when he pulled this out, what you just saw the article, on the 23rd of February, it stopped implementing them altogether, including the additional protocol. As a result, Iran no longer allowed the agency to conduct many verification and monitoring activities in relation to the JCPOA. That means they removed their surveillance, monitoring equipment, and also inspectors on the ground. The agency lost continuity of knowledge in relation to the production of current inventory of centrifuges, rotors, bellows, blah, 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 all related. And that's when Iran started going crazy with the enrichment at 60%. That's when it started. When they just pulled out of the JCPOA. And for almost 5 years, we didn't know what the hell was going on in Iran. We didn't know what the hell was going on in Iran because there was nothing to monitor. There was no people on the ground. There was no cameras. There was no surveillance, nothing. They said, screw this, we're out, we're done. And this is an IAEA report. I have the documents to prove it. It's not like I'm making this shit up. It's crazy. Look, since June 2025, the agency has not been able to conduct the in-field activities required to collect and verify Iran's declaration used to estimate the changes to the previously reported stockpile. Until the agency is able to resume its in-field verification activities, it is not in a position to quantify Iran's enriched uranium stockpile with the same confidence and accuracy as before or to determine its whereabouts. They didn't even know what the hell was going on for 5 years. 5 years. 5 years. And then again, I'll say it again. Just because people are mistaking this, I don't know why. The JCPOA clearly said Iran could never possess, acquire, or obtain a nuclear weapon. It is clear in the language. It's clear. What he's saying right now is no different than what we agreed to in 2015. You might think it's like new. It's not. It is not. This is the JCPOA. Iran reaffirms that under no circumstance will Iran ever seek, develop, or acquire any nuclear weapons. Under no circumstances. This is the actual JCPOA document. And this put in so many fucking guidelines and equipment, surveillance at Natanz, at Fordow, at their facilities, with cameras, with surveillance, with inspectors, and within 24 hours they could visit a location until things fell into place. That's the crazy. Tell us, Bill, about your infinite wisdom. Like you have more infinite wisdom than I do? Is that like a sarcastic remark to me, Race? You really going to go there? What should we have done? You know what we should have done? I'll tell you what we should have done from day one. Keep that fucking Strait open, which they blundered. That's what we should have done. We would never be in this situation right now. If, and people know this, I have witnesses in this chat room that have been in here for the 6 months I've been doing this. And I said it before we start this campaign, operation, whatever you want to call it. The objective should be keep that strait open. Don't let Iran get control of it and use it as a card, which ended up happening. That's my infinite wisdom that I did before this even started. And they failed to do so. That's why we're in the situation we're in right now. If that strait would be open right now, and we had full control of it in the Persian Gulf, the Strait, and the Gulf of Oman, a deal wouldn't even be necessary. It would be more like our demands and their surrender. That's what would have happened. Iran wouldn't have had a card to play. That's what would have happened. Mistake 2, ceasefire. He said, I can go back to the clips. When the ceasefire was implemented, they're going to open up the strait. Did they? No, they didn't. Go back to the clips what he said. Don't take my word for it. Go back and look. The ceasefire was a blunder. What about the arms that was supposed to go to people in Iran that was sent on some secret bullshit, and they kept the weapons or sold the weapons? Whether it was Iraqi Kurds, whatever Kurds. What happened to that? There were blunders to get to this point. That's what I'm talking about. We shouldn't even be in this position of a deal. It's all because of the Strait of Hormuz. That's the only reason we're in this position. That's like a comment. We were surprised they hit the Arab countries. What do you mean it was a surprise? Iran warned you they were going to do that. You didn't think that Iran was going to use the Strait of Hormuz as a card? We didn't think the ships were a threat. So we didn't go after them. 6 weeks after the campaign, you didn't go after the Mosquito fleet? Like they're not going to terrorize shipping? That's what I'm talking about. That's the whole problem here that I have. Now, do I want boots on the ground? Absolutely not. I don't want to sacrifice any military personnel over this now. Nobody wants to see that. On either side, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, I don't think anybody wants to see that happen. Coulda, shoulda, woulda is done. Now what I'm concerned about is what kind of deal he's going to make with Iran. That's what I'm concerned about now. That's my infinite wisdom. And I guarantee a lot of people agree, even Republicans that are in this chat that voted for Trump, they will agree. The vast majority will agree. I am so pissed on the statements. What got me so set off about this is what he said in France yesterday. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what he was saying. I got so unnerved by it. Like, what is he saying? What is he talking about? It made me actually ill. And that's why I'm so upset. And I pray, and I have a feeling, two things may happen. Israel is not going with it. Here's more of my infinite wisdom. Israel is not just going to stand by and allow this to happen with Hezbollah being protected. Lebanon, they can't do nothing in Lebanon. They're not going to stand for this. Eventually, this is not going to last because either Israel's going to react or something's going to happen to trigger some kind of conflict, because this does not mean that anybody cannot pull out of this memorandum of agreement. At any given time, either side could say, oh, bullshit, we're back to square one, and maybe we do military option then. I truly believe at the end of the day, they're going to play us along and say, okay, we'll do the 30-day, then a 60-day extension. And then at the end of the day, they're never going to sign that final agreement deal. Then we're going to be back to here. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't think Iran is ever going to sign a final agreement in 3 months. Then we'll see where we're at then. I don't think this is going to play out in time and anything's going to get done. I don't see it. It's too fragile. There's too much tension. There's too much going on. I don't actually think anything is going to stick in these next few weeks, months, whatever it is. That's my thing. But when they say certain things and that's not what the facts are, that drives me nuts. Because the facts prove otherwise. There are documents that you can download and read them for yourself and get more research and information based on facts, not opinions, comments, whatever. The media is a disaster because they're like the propaganda arm of the IRGC. They are. CNN, all these outlets. It's like anything the Iranians say, they go with. You can't believe anything you're seeing right now is, oh, these are the 14 points in the agreement. Or this is. No, until we all get to see it for ourselves, then we can reach a valid conclusion, opinion on it. But you cannot believe on all the speculation. But when I hear the president's comments from France yesterday, I'm like, holy shit, what's going on? I never cared about regime change. That's not what you said at the beginning. Help is on the way. You got to go look for the video he sent on February 26th. It's incredible. It's actually incredible. And I'm upset. And I still support him for doing whatever he has to do to get this best for the United States of America. I'm just super frustrated. And I guess this could be the end game, but I truly don't think it will be. I think this is not going to stick. Exactly. It took almost 2 years for that JCPOA. And again, all the countries were involved. China, Russia, us, UK, EU. It took a long time to get that in writing. But let's not forget what's in the writing, that they make it sound like it's something new. Under no circumstances would Iran ever seek, develop, or acquire a nuclear weapon. The way you hear it spun today, it's like, that never happened before. This is the first time. It's not. It was in the JCPOA. They make it sound like this is something new. It was already in the language. It was already an agreement. And they had, like I said, now you're going to hear about, oh, now we're going to have to send monitors in and surveil it. Doesn't that sound familiar? And I'm like, we were there. So what's the whole purpose of this campaign to happen to begin with? To do this all over again? And you don't have the international support now. It's unilateral. You unilaterally pulled us out. Now you're unilaterally trying to get a new deal with Iran. And what kind of deal would this one be? That's what I want to know. So I'm not anti-Trump here. I'm just upset how this is all playing out. By any circumstance, I am definitely not. But for people who've been watching this, and Marianne is one of them that have been here for months, they know exactly. I wrote songs supporting the president. I wrote all kinds of shit. I put my heart and soul and everything into this. Only to get to this point where Iran was able to use, they were totally decimated militarily. They are still economically. And you just threw them a fucking life preserver, a lifeline. You had them by the... And don't take my word for it. He said it. They're completely decimated military. Their navy's gone. This is gone. Missiles are gone. Everything's gone. This, that. You had them. It was chaotic. But then he said in France yesterday, the third tier of the regime seems to be more realistic, and they're not radicals. What? He said that yesterday in France. I thought I was going to have a shit attack when he said that. He actually said that. And that's why I'm like, what is he saying? They're friendly. Do you want me to play the clip what he said in France? That's what's driving me. What I saw yesterday, what he said in France. I never expected him to say stuff like this. This is what drove me to the brink. I got to play the clips again, I guess. It was maddening. So it's not me flip-flopping, or it's him that has flip-flopped. Not me. Definitely not me. Don't throw the shit on me. Oh, that's something else. Let me see if I find the clips. I played them earlier. I had them. I should have downloaded them. So now I got to look for them again. I'm telling you, I'm like... Maybe it was him. And he did say, he said, if I don't like the MOU, but you signed it already, digitally signed. If I don't like the MOU, I guess is when they start to talk. I will go right back to dropping bombs in the middle of their head. I was sure that the MOU was already agreed upon and electronically signed. Hold.
The agreement now final, or are you still? No, it's not final. It's a memorandum of understanding, and if I don't like it, we'll go back to shooting at them, dropping bombs on their head. When do you expect this to work? If I don't like it, if they don't behave, we'll go right back to dropping bombs right smack in the middle of their head. Okay? Because they've misbehaved for 47 years. All right?
Does it include?
But nobody could have made this deal.
Nobody could have made this deal. We better see what this deal is. It's not a deal. It's an agreement to negotiate. There's no deal. Let's make that clear. There is no deal. It's just an agreement to talk and negotiate about specific. And this is what he said about, the question was, the Iranian regime continues to kill their own people. Look what he says. This is what drove me nuts yesterday in France.
Mr. President, if the Iranian regime continues to kill their own people, will you still move ahead with this deal?
If they refuse to what with their people?
If they continue to kill their own people, the Iranian
Well, we talk to them about it, and we see. I will say the majority of that took place during the first and second regimes.
First and second regimes? First and second regimes? Because you took out the Ayatollah? The regime is still, the core of the regime is still intact. What's he talking about, the first and second regime? They're still hardliners and the IRGC has not changed. What's he talking about? You would...
Much more so than now. It was much more severe, but it's a terrible thing. Yeah, do you have a question?
What? Oh, there's more. I just got to find the clips. Look, ready?
We're dealing with people that I think are very rational people. I mean, they were nice to deal with. They were strong people, smart people. I think actually they're smarter than the first and second group. But they're not radicalized, and they're, looking
not
to
radicalized?
help their country.
They're fucking terrorists. They're not radicalized. The people you talk to are the politicians. They have to still go through the rest of the factions that make up the Iranian government. The hardliners, the IRGC. I don't know what the cardboard mouse is, if he's alive, or it sounds like what Rubio said. He did say in the past few weeks he would go actually meet the supreme leader. Is that confirming that he's alive? I don't know. We're dealing with very rational people. They're not radicalized. He said this. This is what got me crazy yesterday when I was watching these clips coming in from France at the G7. This is not me saying this. This is him saying it. I'm like, what? WTF? What the fuck? That's what made me flip out when I started hearing the comments coming from France. I thought I was going to lose my mind. This is not me. What is this? He's talking about the Egyptian president now. These clips.
We do support Egypt.
Wait.
We do support Egypt rights, water security.
Well, that's what we're going to be talking about. Listen.
How and when?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Of course I support Egypt. He's a friend of mine. From day one, I met him early in the campaign when Crooked Hillary and I were running against each other, right? And I was told that the president of Egypt is here. That was a big deal. It's still a big deal for me to be with the great president of Egypt, but not as big as it used to be before I ran. So he was in a hotel, and I met him, and we fell in love, deeply in love. And he didn't even want to see Hillary. He said, "You're going to win. I don't want to meet her." He said, "You're going to win." He didn't want to see her. Remember that? So we had a good relationship right from the beginning. No, we met. We didn't know each other before that. We had great chemistry, and I stayed twice as long as I was supposed to. Took up her time, and then when it was her time, he didn't want to meet with her, but he did because he's a gentleman. But it lasted about one.
So this is about his love for the Egyptian president. There's more to that, right? But it never got anywhere because it was shut down by the Republicans. And it was this. Right here. Because things happened during the first administration with Egypt afterwards. But remember, this was never investigated by the DOJ because it's his DOJ. Just to put in context why they brought up the Egypt comment. Just saying. So there's more to that when you know what's going on in the background. He's talking, and And he's laughing. Modi's laughing when he's saying this.
So you look at this man. I'll give you a lesson. He's the most beautiful looking man. He looks so nice. He's like an angel. But actually, he's as tough as he's a killer. I don't want to. He's a killer. He's as tough as they come. But he looks so good. So he gets you by surprise. But there's few people like this.
He's a beautiful looking man, but he's a killer. Oh my God. There's so many clips that flip me out. I'm telling you, yesterday, that's why I'm bugging out today. But I need to calm down because we have to see how this plays out. And like I said, I don't think this is going to go through. Like in the final, I don't think this is going to happen. I truly don't. Okay, here's another one. Now he's minimizing the nuclear material, the highly enriched uranium. He said this yesterday, and I was like, wait, what? Like, what? Listen to what he said yesterday. Check this out.
But to go get it is a big deal. Because they say only China and us have the equipment where you can even get. The whole mountain is collapsed on top. We have cameras on it. You could make the case, why are you even bothering? Because it's not really valuable. It's, it's probably $500,000 worth. It's not very valuable stuff. But
it's not valuable now? So we don't have to worry about it? Now it's not valuable. Retrieving the enriched uranium was a big thing, remember? Now he's saying it's not really a big deal. He said that, and I was like, wait a minute. What? What are you talking about? Now the enriched uranium is not a big deal? Getting it? When did that shift happen? Listen to it again.
But to go get it is a big deal. Because they say only China and us have the equipment where you can even get. The whole mountain is collapsed on top. We have cameras on it. You could make the case, why are you even bothering? Because it's not really valuable. It's, it's probably $500,000 worth. It's not very valuable stuff. But
it's not very valuable anymore. What happened? And I think he's making... he's kind of alluding to the fact that they would have to dig down to retrieve it, to get it. And he said that in the past, that China and us are the only ones that have the technology and the equipment to do so, to actually dig down deep enough to get it. But it's not really that valuable, so why should we? That's a change. No, that's not a change. I thought that whole thing was to retrieve and get that enriched uranium. It's not that valuable. Say what? Wait, what? When did that flip happen? So I'm not the one flip-flopping here. I'm just stating, it's not me saying this. This is him saying this. That's why I said this morning when I came on, I said, I gotta address this. Because based on what he said yesterday, I was like, oh my God, he's not saying this now. So that's why I'm very concerned about this MOU. Don't believe all these things that you see in social media, on the mainstream media, that they say they know, because we haven't released it yet. You're trusting the Iranians? Their side, their spin to what it is? No. We all need to see it. And then when J.D. Vance says, did you hear what J.D. Vance said yesterday? Oh, but it's sensitive to the Muslim world over there, so it's delicate. I was like, what about the American fucking people? We want to see it. You're concerned about them? You already digitally signed it. The ceremony is Friday. So why can't we see it? Did you hear what he said? I was like, what is going on? Let me see if I find that clip. And again, I'm just alarmed by what some of these people are saying. I never cared about... Oh, that's just a picture. I never cared about regime change. It's not what you said in the beginning. Let me hold on. Let me see if I find this J.D. Vance clip. I had it before. I was like, what the? We're sensitive to them? No, that's not acceptable. And I don't know if Israel likes that. Without him, there would be no Israel. Oh boy. I wonder what the Israeli people are thinking right now. I have to find the J.D. Vance clip. I'm so glad that in the soccer game, in the World Cup, that a lot of people were waving the lion and sun flag. Good for them. And yeah, they're doing Death to America in Lebanon right now, and Israel. They feel emboldened. Israel News put this out. They're emboldened. The proxies are now emboldened. Does anybody see a bad? This is not good. And that's common. That's been going on for 50 years. So that's not like surprising. Let me see if I find this clip. I'm searching. People, Israel News is showing the soccer games when Iran plays. I'm going through all these feeds because one of them has the J.D. Vance clip from yesterday when he was on with Megyn Kelly. I think it was yesterday. I was like, why are you so worried about how their feelings? And I'm glad she asked the question. And she did it, politely, respectfully. I'm trying to find it. And then I'll get to your comments in a second, but I'm trying to find this. Here it is, Megyn Kelly. Listen to what J.D. Vance said.
Why can't they see? Why can't we all see the MOU right now?
Well, yeah. So first of all, the president said by the latest Friday, possibly as early as tomorrow, we're going to release the memorandum of understanding text. The reason why we haven't released it yet is there are some delicate diplomatic things going on where the Iranians, and not just the Iranians, but some of our mediators, the Pakistanis and the Qataris, have asked us to sequence this in the right way. I don't, frankly, fully understand it, but there are sensitivities that exist in the Arab and Muslim world that we're trying to be responsive to. Fundamentally, does it really matter if the deal comes out on Wednesday versus Friday? No. That's why we haven't emphasized it so much, is because at the very latest, the text is going to be out on Friday.
Okay. Yeah. And, I mean, you've already signed it, but it's not like legally binding to where you can't undo it. It's a diplomatic agreement. So it's
correct.
If people freak out, there's an utter meltdown here in the United States. It could always be undone if you change your minds.
Exactly. And I could.
So remember, it has already been digitally signed. So it has been signed. The memorandum of understanding has been signed by both sides. They have no problem with Iran leaking out. God only knows if that's true or not. Why don't you just release it? Why do we got to wait for Friday? Because that's the ceremony in Geneva, allegedly, I'm hearing. That's when they're going to have the ceremony. So there's going to be some kind of a ceremony. And that's when we'll see it. And she even said there might be a meltdown in the United States. So they can pull out. In other words, if there's a lot of pressure applied that this is a bad deal for the United States, whether it's by members of Congress, you know the Democrats are going to be against anything anyway. You know that. That's what they do. You know that. But there are some Republicans that are like, this is not a... And I don't even know if the Republicans have seen it. Just think about that. I don't know if... Did the Gang of Eight see this yet? Has anyone in Congress seen the memorandum of understanding that they signed up to? I don't know. I haven't done that much digging. You know what I mean? I do need to go outside and do a bike ride. Now I'm going to get into your comments. Hello, Moses. I'm going to scroll up. I know my friend is upset at me, but he'll get over it. He thinks I'm flipping. I'm not flipping. I'm flipping out, but I'm not flip-flopping or flipping out. Like, I am flipping out. Because of the comments. I'm like, tough talk. Remember in the beginning, the tough talk? It's like, I'm not hearing that talk like I heard. That's why I was playing the clips from when this all started compared to now. It's like a 180. It's not me. It's coming out of the president's own mouth. It's not me. It's not about just the Iranian tankers. You should go look at the research about Chinese tankers, J-Money. I'd rather have boots on the ground instead of giving Iran billions while our own American citizens are suffering. Again, you have to remember, there's two ways to look at this. The deal is signed already. Allegedly, the strait is going to be opened up immediately. Then the blockade is lifted. But I have to say this, we benefit from this. The prices have dropped dramatically. So we have to be fair about this. I mean, it's one thing to complain about what this deal might be with Iran. That's one thing. But the reality of the situation is oil is down. So we can bitch and moan about the deal, but we're not bitching and moaning about the prices at the gas pumps. I'm not. I'm just upset the way this is all played out. That's all. But I'm not complaining about the prices going down. I don't think anybody's going to complain on that. That's what we all want, right? I'm just not happy the way this played out as far as some kind of agreement with Iran. It's emboldening Iran. It's making Iran stronger. The whole thing that I'm saying is we should have never started this to begin with. If this is the outcome, you couldn't have done this another way. You could have simply just started negotiating with them the same way you're doing now. Billions, tens of billions of dollars spent. 15 U.S. personnel lost their lives. Bases struck, destroyed, whatever. Stockpile used. That's going to take time and money. Damage to ships, aircraft, etc. For what? The Strait being held hostage by Iran. Not like it was before. The conditions on the ground have changed. And if Iran gets access, we cannot speculate that because don't believe the media hype that's coming out because that could be Iranian driven. That they're going to have access to $300 billion. Billion with a B. We have to wait to see the details. This is a like pay as you go maybe deal where if they comply with certain things, they get access to certain things. Certain things get lifted over time as long as they comply. Like pay as you go. I don't know yet. We have to see what eventually the deal would be after they started negotiating with each other for 60, 90 days. This is just to sit down. So we don't really know how this is going to play out, to be honest. You know what I mean? Yes, that was after. Yes, I have that documentation too, Race. That is correct. That's why I don't trust them. They've never been compliant. They were after the JCPOA, but I have documentation of the IAEA. There were 4 locations in Iran in the late 90s, early 2000s that they totally shut. And it has to do more with the non-proliferation treaty. I have the document. 4 locations in Iran. We know nothing about what was going on. And that's when Israel was like freaking out 25 years ago. Iran is developing a nuclear weapon and we're not doing anything about it. And people were complaining that Israel was like saying that 25 years ago. Well, the indications were we didn't know what the fuck they were doing in these 4 locations. They completely removed everything. We don't know what they did with it. They never answered. They never complied. Never. And I have that document. So that is a fact. Because I have that document. I can't remember the 4 location names, but there was all kinds of shit going on. And we know zero about those locations. Zero. Nothing. Iran has completely denied the IAEA any information. The IAEA in relation to the NPT, the non-proliferation. I have that document. That is a fact, Race. That is a fact. Definitely. I have that document, so that is a fact. I don't trust them. And I don't know how we could trust them now. Or ever. So, overall, I'm with you 100% on that. Definitely. I'm catching up to the comments. The original agreement took over 2 years. I saw that. Kachin restriction visas for specific invectives and failed to provide technically credible answers regarding the past military dimensions of the program. Correct. What's up, Moses? They had the pivot right after they started. Guaranteed in 60 days we were back to square one. I don't think Iran's ever going to agree to sign the final agreement. Deal. I may be wrong. But I agree with John on that one. Iran got what they wanted from Trump, so they're playing nice right now. I agree with that. They're going to play along until they can get as much as they can over time, including oil revenue, sales. They're not stupid. I just hope that we don't end up in the same situation 2 to 3 months from now. And by the way, the military is not going anywhere. Whether it's troops, ships, none of that's going anywhere. Because at any given time, the president has that option to use military. Don't think that we're withdrawing. We are not going anywhere. That's not happening. I don't know if anybody's saying that we are. That's not happening. Not until final deal is made. There's no way you are removing any assets in that region whatsoever. Excuse my language. None. Zero. I don't you because you give a fair opinion on what you're saying. We may not agree. I agree. What I do find is you're fair in your opinion. I totally agree. I used to be a Democrat. So was Trump. Just to be fair. I've been living here 20 years. It went like this. I consider myself an absolute independent moderate, but I do lean to the right because of where I live. And I've changed and I've evolved. That's just the honest goddamn truth. So I'm a converted liberal. So I ain't with the left. Because I lived in New York City, it's different environment, different influences. It happens based on, demographically where you live, the things that go on. You're influenced by the local bullshit. I have to say I've been influenced by the local stuff here, to be fair. And I love it here. I would never go back to New York City. Ever. Ever. That place is a nightmare. So, to be fair, I'm reading your comments. The regime will always be intact. It's built to stay intact, to keep going. Of course, if one is gone, they replace it with another. President may have done a lot for the USA, but unfortunately, this was a real bad mistake. And that's what I'll say too. And I've said this yesterday, the day before. He may have made a miscue on this situation. We don't know that yet. We cannot say that for sure because we don't even know what the hell's going to happen yet. So we need to chill out. I'm just frustrated. I am more frustrated when I saw the comments in France yesterday than anything else. That set me off. That really did. And I'm clear about that from the get-go when I started this stream. What I saw in France, I was like, what the... But the border has never been more secure. Regardless of what your opinion is on it, you cannot deny the fact that the border has never been secure in 50 years. The deterrence factor, and like I said yesterday and the day before, Cuba might be one thing. I want to go after Mexico and hit everything in Mexico. They're a terrorist, that is considered a terrorist cartel group, organization. They are terrorists. We should go after them with everything we have and eliminate that. Eliminate the fentanyl distribution, the faculties that are done to bring fentanyl into Mexico by the Chinese. All that. I'm going after the railway system that transports people up north. I'm going after everything in Mexico. Mexico is our direct threat to the national security of the United States, no matter how you look at it, whether it's the border, the money laundering, human trafficking, God only knows who's coming over the border, drugs, arms, you name it. Mexico, to me, is our number one threat. That's just me. And and the president has wanted to do it, but he's held back for whatever reason. I want to take out the cartels, all of them, every fucking one of them. You want to talk about the national security? Do you realize how much Mexico affects our country, whether it's who knows who's coming through the border, who's here already? And yes, you have to blame all the past administrations. At least he did something about it, though many may consider it controversial. But it is the right thing for the national security of the United States, in my opinion. So he's done a lot of other great things to me in his administration. But when it comes to Iran, this might be a big blunder. But time will tell. From sitting right now, like looking at it objectively right now, this could end up not being a good thing. But we have to see. We have to just see and wait and see how this plays out. But like I said, what set me off is what I saw his comments from France. I was like, what the like, wait, what? That's what set me off when I started seeing the comments coming in from the G7. Just to be clear. Trump's telling his own American people, well, again, there's many ways to look at this. Cost of living is not like it's just started going up now. It's been going up for quite some time. If you go back, and I've done research on this, and I have documents to prove it, utility companies actually, in 2025, and I have the documentation, actual documentation to prove this, every year, utility companies will put in requests to raise and hike their prices. Under Biden, it was at a certain point. Under Trump in 2025, it doubled. The utility companies' request doubled compared to Biden to raise their rates. That's a fact. I have the documentation. But that's not to say it hasn't been going on for God knows how long. Rent increases. That's not like something new. It's always going up. It's trying to get it under control where they can keep it down to a certain percentage so they're not allowed to like gouge people and just start raising the prices up for rentals every year where it's outpricing the people and it's costing so much. We can get into that whole discussion. That's a whole different topic, but it's not like it's been going on. It hasn't been going on for God knows how long, to be fair. You know what I mean? Okay. Shannon, did you hear what he said? Well, I know that, Marianne. Again, I'm not making excuses for the president, but sometimes, and I hope, and I was always wishing that he wouldn't be so impulsive on the way he responds speaking, but he's just speaking from the top right off. Maybe he's not being careful enough before he says anything to word it properly where people will misconstrue or take it out of context. Like I said, I'm not making excuses for the president at all. I'm just saying sometimes I will say something and it doesn't sound right. That's not my intention, but people might take it the wrong way. Even right now on this stream. To be fair, I'm just being fair. You know, it is summertime. Oh my God, it's 11:20 already. It's going to be beautiful today too. I'm going out. I'm not staying here, sitting here. No, they are sent out to demonstrate. Probably because there's something in there nobody... Just one big bang would stop that. Well, I don't know what you mean by big bang. It's not like we're going to use nukes. If that sets such a dangerous precedent, let's say we use tactical nukes in their missile cities. Let's just say, and they're in the middle of the desert. So it's only going to eradicate that specific area. What does that send the signal to other countries justifying them using it then now too? Russia with Ukraine. It could be anywhere. That would set a dangerous precedent if you start using TAC nukes or low yield nukes or something like that. That is not a door you want to open, really, in my opinion. I don't chain smoke. I smoke the same cigarette and I put it out after 2 drags, John. I do not chain smoke. I take 2 drags. I mean, like, put it out. This cigarette will last me hours. It might appear like I'm chain smoking, but I'm not. It's the same one. Mexico will be worse. Mexico will be worse than this mess. Too many families across the borders. It would definitely be more complicated, and Mexico has used the proxy model of using human shields. They are dug in the populated areas, and also they have the support of the communities in those areas because they help feed and support them. That would be difficult, to say the least. You know what I mean? It would be very difficult, but they are a threat, direct threat to national security in the United States, in my opinion. But you're right. We are getting a check for $300 billion to paint the houses. Oh my God. Maybe Qatar will lend us the $300 billion. You have to remember there's frozen assets in different parts of the world. And if they unfreeze them and these countries have access to them, it can be them that provides support and that money to Iran. Not directly tied to us, but we're connected because we can unfreeze these assets internationally so they can get access to them. That's the catch that he referred to. It's up to them to decide what they want to do if they want to support them. We're not, but I can't tell them not to. There's the catch. That's what you got to watch out for. You do the same thing with cigarettes dissolve, Faye? Just the crowd chanting, oh, I got you. I got you, John. Yes, like, do the research. What the United States has frozen, its self-control, direct control, is a very small number compared to the international community frozen assets of Iran, which we can sanction and lock down. But if you unfreeze those, and those countries now have access in their own countries to that money, now it's up to them whether or not they want to unfreeze it and send it to Iran. There's the catch. Keep an eye on that catch. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but that's something you all need to pay attention to. So it's not directly with our hands sending plane loads of money, but they're giving other countries access to it so they can do as they want, if they want to. And the word they're using is invest in Iran. Remember, this is Iranian frozen assets. It's not like these other countries' money. It's actually Iranian frozen assets, whether it's real estate, currency, whatever it is. So just be mindful of that when things start to come out and develop as they go. Don't be fooled by it. Oh yeah, I know about the environmental free dark web money. Don't take my word for it. Do your research. Do your own research. It's important. I always try to get documents, not like sharing a opinionated article by whatever it is, whether it's right, left, center. That's more opinionated, and it could be spun, and it could be diluted. It could be mixing truth with misleading stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful if you're going to be objective. That's hard to do, to stay objective. It really is difficult. That's why I try to get as many PDF documents as I can coming from like the government that they're releasing. Because then you see the actual language. That is an actual document. That's different. That's why I put the JCPOA up earlier, because it clearly says Iran can never obtain, develop, whatever. It's in the language. This is not new language. It's in the JCPOA. So when you hear them say, Iran can never have a nuclear weapon, we're going to make sure. Well, that was in the language. And we did have surveillance and monitoring equipment, and everything was going good until 2021. And that's when they started enriching the uranium, which is in the IAEA report, at 60%. And nobody knew what the hell was going on, because they told all the inspectors and everybody to get out. But for a couple of years, it was working. It really was. Didn't last. I didn't expect it to last. You can't trust Iran under any circumstances, period, because they have a track record. They cannot be trusted. Period. But check this out. Look at the price of WTI, United States. 77.79, and it's going down. It went up from when the start of the market opened, but still. Now remember, once that strait is open and oil starts to flow, you're going to see this number drop down by 10, at least 5. And Brent, come on, is at 80. This is what this is about. And that's why he said people are stupid if they want to see a global depression. It's about getting this under control and opening up the flow of oil worldwide. He said that people are stupid if they don't think this is a good idea, because it could affect the whole world and cause a depression. He said that yesterday in France. I have the clip. I can find it. But that's what it's about too. And I don't think anybody in the United States is going to complain about that, right? Prices coming down, summertime, people going out and enjoying. Even if you were barbecuing with a gas grill, propane, anything, it affects everything. People traveling by vehicle or even by plane. Like, I'm going to jump soon, not yet. I only got 100 gallons of heating oil, but that'll last me the whole summer. When I see this price bottom out, because I don't know what's going to happen in the future. Conflict could happen again, and then changes everything. The strait could get closed again by Iran, because he said it in the clip. We have no control over the strait. He said this from France, and that flipped me out too. He said that. I was like, fuck. I thought we had total control of the strait. And he says, we have no control of the strait. He said that yesterday. I was like, what the fuck? There's a clip out there that says that. So what happens, this is what I would advise. Goodbye, Tammy. Have a great one. I'm going to read your comments. I'm going to continue reading your comments in a second. When the strait opens, because it's going to open. For how long? I don't know. Keep an eye on the market. Keep an eye on your local gas pump prices. But for people like me that have heating oil, and your tank may be half empty or quarter full, Mine is about a half. Wait till the Strait opens. Keep an eye on the market. When you see that barrel go down, wait a few days. It'll reflect. Get your heating oil. Fill that tank. Because there's no guarantee the prices are going to be that stabilized. Because if shit hits the fan again, it's going to go right back up. That's just my advice. Keep an eye on the markets. Keep an eye, especially if they open the straits, or when they open the straits. I'm talking to the people that depend on like vast numbers of oil. You may want to jump on it. I am. There's no question. I have a 275 gallon tank. I got to put another 150 gallons in there. I'm going to wait till the price comes down. Because that's a hell of a hit. If it's, say, $4, I'm still looking at $600, which is not freaking bad. Because that is kind of like the normal price for heating oil. $3.90, $4.10. Right now, it's just slightly above that. Because that's coming down. Once it hits that number, like I could look at my past bills and see what the price of a gallon of oil is, I'm jumping on it. Because I don't know if this shit's going to get bad again and go right back up again. Do you understand what I'm saying? I believe prices going down are already priced in on the market. Well, like I said, Brent, forget about Brent. I look at WTI. WTI is right now at 77.32. Remember, a few weeks ago it was over 100. That is still, and another thing too, you have to see how the actual local, state, federal, global markets react and bring them down the prices itself. You think they're going to be in a rush to bring it down that much? That we have to see. But I think as an incentive here in the United States, I think you will. Not just through the economy, but politically, to bring the prices down. So I expect it here in the United States. I can't speak for other countries, but I do expect the prices to come down even more significantly once the Strait is open. I cannot guarantee that, but I'm going to be monitoring it, because as soon as I see a sign that shit goes down to, say, even if it goes down to 70, I'm in. I'm ordering. That number right there. It's going down right now. It went up at the start of the market, but it'll come down. I expect this to go down even lower. I might see this close at 75 today. Maybe. So again, this benefits everyone. At least here in the United States. I cannot speak to other people that live anywhere else. Yeah, the stock market is different. I'm talking about the oil market. Exactly. Prices are already down. It's 410 here. But this is New York with the taxes. I expect it to be by 4th of July, if everything goes well, under 4, for sure. For regular. I expect it to go under 4. We'll see. So, again, it's one thing to complain about maybe because we don't know what this deal is going to, if they actually get to a deal 3 months from now. Or if shit happens in between. And Israel is a factor in all this. Because Iran already said it. If Israel continues to hit southern Lebanon and they don't eventually pull out their troops, they're going to hit Israel. And what does that do? To me, Israel's on their own right now. To me. They're not going to get any support from us if they get hit or if they strike Lebanon, because that's the president. His deal is on the table here between the United States and Iran. And if Israel throws anything into that situation, he's going to blame Israel, jeopardizing this negotiation. So Israel's in a tough position. But you don't know what they're going to do. So God only knows. This is fragile. And again, I truly don't believe Iran is going to agree to the final agreement 2 to 3 months from now. I don't think they're going to sign an agreement. They're going to milk out as much as they can in the next 2 to 3 months and get what they can. And then at the end of the day, they won't sign the final agreement. Hopefully I'm wrong. But 340 in northeastern North Carolina. See? So we'll see how this all plays out. And like I said, it could be one thing about Iran, but you look at the other areas. You could be critical on. There's no reason why you cannot be critical on anyone that's in the administration or as president, because that's to be fair and objective. But at the same time, you have to look at the entire scope of everything else. Not nitpick on that one thing, but this is a very significant one thing. I mean, you hear the tough talk that happened before. They're a terrorist regime. They're the number one sponsor of terror in the world. They're an evil regime. The other side says death to America, the great Satan. And all of a sudden, we're dealing with rational, and they're not radical people. And you're negotiating with a terrorist regime that you said, the number one terrorist regime. And I don't think that's any politician in the United States would disagree with that, whether they're left or right. I think that's one thing that's a bipartisan agreement. So I don't think people here in the country on either side is going to be happy if this looks like a deal that's going to benefit Iran. That's the bottom line. I don't care what party you're part of. But that's on the specific topic of Iran. You know what I mean? 314 to 329 in northwestern Minnesota. Are you all complaining about how the prices are coming down with this deal? I bet not, because I'm not. And I don't think anybody wants to get involved. Like, again, I at the beginning, a lot of us were like, oh my God, help is on the way. We're locked, loaded, and ready to help the people of Iran. And then we heard about alleged weapons trying to get to the protesters, the people on the ground in Iran that never made it there because they either kept them or sold them. Whatever Iraqi or Kurdish faction it was. So, but ultimately, we know that it was, remember what the 5 points were with Rubio? Nuclear weapon, enriched uranium, the highly enriched uranium, zero enrichment. Remember these points? Proxies, their missile program, and the people of Iran. Remember at the beginning? Those were the talking points. Don't have a short-term memory. At the beginning, you remember what they were talking about? And then it changed the narrative more to just focus on the nuclear alone. You didn't hear much about anything else. And then the Strait became the number one issue. So we have to be honest and see how we got here. And now we have to see where it goes from here. What kind of agreement there is before they even sit down and talk. And then that's going to take some time. I don't see it happening in 2 to 3 months because there's a lot of specific details to go through to agree to. that both sides have to agree to. And that's going to take time. So don't expect 2 months. And there's probably part of this agreement that they can extend that time. I don't know. We have to see it. You know? So again, he's having a press conference at the G7 right now. Bean agreed, which you just said. You can hate the deal, but Jesus Lord, I can. What? This lot can afford to leave house more than a handful of times a year because it's so expensive just to drive. I can't even do my bike riding. Like I go to travel back and forth because of gas. Now I can. You're right. And just bring our Navy home. They're not going to go anywhere right now, Navy Mom, because you never know if they have to resume in military. He has to keep the military option on the table, even through negotiations. He's not going to withdraw troops or Navy assets, logistical assets in the region. He's not going to do that. That would be foolish. Then you're really bending to Iran. That's not going to happen. At least I hope it doesn't happen. I hate to say it to you like that because I know you want your son home. And I don't blame you. But I don't think he's going to do that. You know what I mean? So that's just the reality of the situation. So we pray for our troops. I pray for the president. And look what may have been going on during the UFC. Thank God the FBI got to that. So, you know, regardless of all my frustration and venting, because when I saw, like I said, when I saw these clips coming out of France, I was like, wait, what? WTF? What is he saying? What is he talking about? That freaked me out. Because it's like a 180 on the things that were said at the beginning. And this can't be. And if I would have saw it on social media, I wouldn't have believed it. But when I heard it coming from himself, it's like, oh my gosh, what's going on? You know? Oh yeah, they're going to be emboldened, John. There's no question. But again, maybe we shouldn't have ever started this in the first place. Maybe it was not a good decision to even start this at the get-go. You know what I mean? Again, looking in hindsight, coulda, shoulda, woulda. I mean, was it... A lot of people will say, and he said it at the beginning. I wish I had that February 26th comment. That help is on the way. Take to the streets when the time is right. All this. Take back your country. Help, you know, all that. And I was like, wow, we're actually going to try to help change the regime, and the people of Iran will have the opportunity to take back the country. That's what Goldie, Tusi, everybody was talking about. Now he never cared about regime change. It was never about regime change. And now people are going with that narrative because that's what he's saying. That's not what he said at the beginning. It's convenient to say it now. That's not exactly what was going on in the beginning of this. Because the conditions changed. You know? So let's just see when this is released to the public, at least to the American public. I want to see what the memorandum of understanding actually says. They say it could be released as early today, or the latest Friday. If anybody hears anything about it, please comment. And yes, Marianne, if you're there, I did send my regards to Matt. Speak the truth with his medical condition. But let's just wait. Let's just wait and see for ourselves. And then we can have a discussion on it. A civil, fair, objective discussion on it. And everybody can express their opinions. Because that's what it's about. We just have to wait and see what's in the actual text. Because if you listen to the Israel news, you'll get a whole different opinion and spin on it. I'll read you one comment. But again, it's commentary. I have not seen it. I can't go based on what they're saying. To be fair. This deal with the Islamic Republic and Iran is the greatest gift to the regime from the West and the worst thing that could happen to the Iranian people. And guess what? They will still continue to chant wish death upon us all. And I don't know who this person is. Mossab Hassan Youssef writes to Trump, quote, every time Israel had momentum, whether in Gaza, Lebanon, or against Iran, you personally intervened and stopped them at the worst possible moment. So Israel is not happy. The Israelis are not happy. And I'm not surprised. And it's coming from the Israelis. That doesn't surprise me. So, I did not see that. Oh, you got it, Faye? You got it. Oh, thank you. Thank you for providing it. What's going on? Why? Oh. Oh, my back. Oh my God. I can't walk. My back. Thank God I didn't go bike riding. What's wrong with the door? Where are you? Why? How come you didn't get in? Through the front?
Yes.
Go ahead. Close it good. Close that door good. Push it. Not unlock it, just push it. Push the door, see if it's closed good. Just push it. Not like that.
Hey, you do it.
I'll do it. Yeah, look at Tycho, ready. I'll lock it. Alright, see you later. Oh, Mom was outside, locked out. I don't know how. I'm reading it right now. I played this video. I played this earlier. Are you sure this is from the 26th? That's what it says. So I was playing the right video. Okay, so there it is. For many years, you have asked for America's help, but you never got it. No president was willing to do what I am willing to do tonight. Now you have a president who's willing to give you what you want. So let's see how you respond. America is backing you with overwhelming strength and devastating force. Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close within your reach. This is the moment of action. Do not let it pass. He's addressing Iranians. Look, that's why a lot of people say finish the job. To the members of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, the armed forces, and all the police, I say tonight you must lay down your weapons and have complete immunity. And you will have complete immunity. Or in the alternative, face certain death. So lay down your arms. You will be treated fairly with total immunity, or you will face certain death. Finally, to the great proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's a very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. That's regime change. Take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations. That's regime change. There's no other way to interpret it. He did promote regime change for the Iranian people to take back their government, take back their country. Your only opportunity in generations. There's the language I was looking for. That is actually the entire statement. I should have played the whole video because I was playing it earlier. That is exactly what he said. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will probably be your only chance for generations. For many years, you have asked America's help, but you never got it. There it is. That is regime change. Take back your government. There's no other way to interpret that. There's no other spin. You could try. And now, if you hear his comment, I have to bookmark this. Now, if you hear his comment, it was never about regime change. I never cared about regime change. Go enjoy your dinner for Mom. Love to all. John, have a great one. I'm going to get off too because I'm going out. So you see this, what he said. You see what he said. And look where we are now. Thank you, Faye, for sending that to me. That's what I was looking for. But I was playing the right video before. I didn't play the whole thing. I should have, because that would have been heard. But thank you for doing that. Because when you go back to what he said in France, that made me flip out, because a lot of us in here have been involved with this from day one. And we remember this stuff. No short-term memory. That's why I was so upset yesterday when I was watching the clips. I couldn't even stream about it. I was so pissed. Because that's not what you said. That's not. And saying that it's not important, the enriched uranium, you're saying that now? You didn't say that before. And I'm like, what happened? What changed? And by appearance, it looks like he's capitulating and conceding to Iran. I mean, how else can you observe it? I don't know how you can spin it. I just don't know. The one thing is, the Iranian generals and all these commanders are starting to come out of their holes. That could be a good thing. Because we're watching. That could be a good thing. And I know there are going to be people out there saying, this is all part of the plan. This is a setup. to expose themselves, to make them feel comfortable and relaxed, and then we go after them. I hope that's true. Because all we got to do is take out the regime itself. You don't have to go put boots on the ground and all this shit that people say. You take out the core leadership, period. They will be in such chaos. They're in chaos now, disagreeing with each other. The more moderate, if you want to call them that. I would never say they're not radicalized. And the hardliners. They're exposing themselves. Just saying. Yeah, and I agree, but it's easier to look at that in retrospect and hindsight and say we should have never have started this to begin with. It's easy to say that now. You know what I mean? To be fair. Because it's so easy to be critical, armchair quarterback, like he said this, we could play it, and this is part of it. To go get this material is a big deal, you know. We have cameras on it. I don't know if he means drones, Space Force, satellites, whatever. You can make the case. This is what he said. Why even bother? It's not very valuable stuff, but I thought the highly enriched uranium was a priority and it was very valuable stuff for us to get. Look how he backtracked on the enriched uranium buried, allegedly. I couldn't believe when I heard that. I thought the whole thing was to retrieve the enriched uranium. He said it's not a big deal now. And people aren't alarmed by that? That's not capitulating? That's not changing 180 degrees? What? When I saw that yesterday, I was like, wait, what? How could you be objective and say and make an excuse for that? How? He said it himself. How? My God. I mean, I could drink Kool-Aid all day. That doesn't mean I'm going to snap out of the Kool-Aid after some time. Jesus Christ. That's what he said.
But to go get it is a big deal. Because they say only China and us have the equipment where you can even get. The whole mountain is collapsed on top. We have cameras on it. You could make the case, why are you even bothering? Because it's not really valuable. It's, it's probably $500,000 worth. It's not very valuable stuff. But
it's not very valuable. So leave it there. Since when did it become not valuable? What is he talking about as far as monetary value? Or what is he referring to as value? This is the highly enriched uranium that is allegedly buried underneath. Only us in China have the technology to get it. But it's not a big deal. It's not even valuable. But I thought that was. I thought that was a big part of it. That's what he said yesterday. And I was like, wait, what? What? And you don't think I'm going to react like this today? It's not me who flip-flopped. It's him who flip-flopped. Not me. I was like, what? So I guess we're not going to worry about the enriched uranium? Is that my understanding? And wait till you hear about the regime change, if I can find it. Remember what we just read. The Iranian people will have a point to take back the country. They take over their government. That's regime change. Take over their government. That is regime change. And I've seen people in chat say that this was never about regime change. That he should have never said that at the beginning. You gave the people of Iran false hope. Can you imagine what they're thinking right now? And then he said they're not radicalized? The same regime that massacred tens of thousands.
We're dealing with people that I think are very rational people. I mean, they were nice to deal with. They were strong people, smart people. I think actually they're smarter than the first and second group. But they're not radicalized, and they're, looking to help their country.
I swear to God, if Biden would have said that, Republicans would have had a heart attack. Could you imagine Biden saying something like that? No, Ma. They're nice. No, they're nice people. They're not radicalized. Could you imagine Biden saying this? Oh my God. If the shoe fits.
So he didn't eat, no?
No.
Don't scream.
So it's like,
Say no.
be fair, be objective. If that was if Biden or Obama saying it, people would be fucking going insane. To be fair. You can't have it both ways. I guess. I'm trying to find the regime change clip. I was like, what? And that's what I'm saying. Yesterday pissed me. And it should upset people when you hear this flip-flop. Not me flip-flopping, him flip-flopping. I have nothing to do with it. I'm a nobody. I'm just a concerned American like other people are. Let's see what this says.
I think the dance you're going to see, Ed, which is going to be interesting.
Through some of this, the Iranians are saying that they're going to have access to a $300 billion reconstruction fund. True or false?
Well, Ed, that's the sort of thing they could have access to, funded by the Gulf Coast Coalition, so long as they honor their end of the obligation. I think that one of the things you're going to...
What did I say earlier? Funded by the Gulf Coalition. That's unfreezing their assets. And it's up to them to decide what they're going to do with it. J.D. Vance said that. Listen to that. That's why I say keep a careful eye on that. It's not the United States giving it to them directly, but you're opening up the doors for them to other countries to do it. Listen to that very carefully. That's going to be something you need to pay attention to. This is cray-cray.
Iranians are saying that they're going to have access to a $300 billion reconstruction fund. True or false?
Simple.
Well, Ed, that's the sort of thing they could have access to, funded by the Gulf Coast Coalition, so long as they honor their end of the obligation. I think that one of the things you're going to see, Ed, and people have to be skeptical of this, is that the hardliners in the Iranian system will overemphasize the benefits that Iran gets while underemphasizing all the things that they have to concede and all the things they have to provide in order to get these benefits. So we absolutely are open to the Gulf Coast countries investing in the reconstruction of Iran.
Investing in the reconstruction of Iran. Investing in the reconstruction of Iran. That's how they're spinning it. $300 billion reconstruction? Say fucking what? Oh boy.
But only if Iran ends their nuclear program, ends their enriched stockpile of material, and is really open to an inspections and enforcement regime that gives the American people confidence they're never going to have.
So we're going to have some kind of inspectors on the ground? Does this sound like deja vu?
A nuclear weapon. So I think the dance you're going to see, Ed, which is going to be interesting, is the Iranian media, especially the hardline media. They're going to talk a lot about what they get without talking about what they give. It's important for all of us to correct that record.
They sound like they're going to get a lot compared to what we're going to get. Yes, that is true, Faye. They're starting to already get. They're going to try not to. pipelines are going to be made, not to depend on the Strait of Hormuz. They're going to try to divert it to the Red Sea and maybe other places, maybe Egypt, who knows, to get to the Med, or maybe even lower down to the Gulf of Oman, or even like more near the Arabian Sea, where the Strait is no longer going to be held hostage. That is true, what you just put in chat. What you just put in chat is true. They're already developing plans to bypass the Strait of Hormuz so they don't have to be held hostage in the future. That has been already talked about. Look what Saudi Arabia did, the East-West pipeline that goes to the Red Sea. And other countries tapping into that pipeline. So yes, that is the plan. That's a great point you just brought up in chat. So again, without being biased or politicizing this, you have to break it down, be fair and objective. The Israelis are flipping out. They are flipping out. Trump's deal is a catastrophic capitulation to Iran's aggressors, leaving Israel with vulnerable and constrained. In the U.S. president's reality-challenged view, Israel is an ingrate and a warmonger, while Iran's mass-murdering leaders are very rational. They are indeed all too rational, and he clearly is not. They are not happy in Israel, but that's to be expected. I'm just saying. What the hell is this now? What's a bad idea?
And I suggested to Israel to let Syria take care of Hezbollah. Because to be honest with you, I think they do a better job of doing it.
A better job. Mr. President, do you hear yourself? Syria's new president is a man who spent years inside an Al-Qaeda-linked organization. The world knows his history.
The Israelis are going nuts. They're going crazy. But I want to see the thing about regime change. Then I'm getting off. Because that was the whole point that Faye, and I thank you, Faye, again for providing that. Here we go.
I don't believe the regime change. You know, I've watched regime changes for years. They never work. It has to just happen. I can tell you this is a country where the Emir is so respected and the Prime Minister is so respected by the people. And that's the way a country.
What does that have to do with it?
So, again, I don't believe the regime change. You know, I've watched regime changes for years. They never work.
The great, proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations. Now you have a president who is giving you what you want. So let's see how you respond. America is backing you with overwhelming strength and devastating force. Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close within your reach. This is the moment for action. Do not let it pass.
What happened? That's what he said before this whole started. And now look what he's saying. Nobody sees a 180 flip on that? No? There it is right there. I should download these clips because I think people are not going to remember that. Conveniently. I have to download these clips because that is important. It's not what he said. So I don't want to hear it. I'm flip-flopping? I can't believe that somebody said I was flip-flopping. I'm not the one doing the flip-flopping. Someone else is doing the flip-flopping. Don't put it on me. Take it to the person who's responsible for the flip-flopping. And yes, that was old. That was an old clip. And then there was the clip he said yesterday in France that it was never about regime change. I'm not for regime change. That was yesterday. That was yesterday. That's what I'm trying to say. What he said, the old clip that he said at the very beginning, compared to what compared to what he's saying now. It's a big fucking difference. Let me delete these videos. This is for a show that was yesterday, UFO show. All right.
Again,
I'm downloading.
I don't believe the regime change. You know, I've watched regime changes for years. They never work.
That was yesterday.
It just happened. I can tell you, this is a country where the emir is so respected.
He changed the topic back to
so respected by the people, and that's the way a country. So again, I don't believe the regime change. You know, I've watched regime changes.
And I got
Proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your...
I've got to get the video address for this clip because it's not doing it.
Only chance.
I don't know why it's mimicking this one. Got it. I got it now. That was then, and this is now. Do you understand? Look what he said out of his own mouth at the beginning, and look what he's saying now. That's not me saying it. Okay. So, like I said, that's what that's why, like I said, the reason I reacted so strongly this morning, and I apologize if I came across too brash or like ranting and upsetting people. That was not my intention. It's just me being myself and reactionary to what the hell I saw coming out of France with his comments. Because for some of us in here that have been here from the beginning, through all of it, you don't forget those kind of details, what was going on back then to compare to what it is now. Only those that have been invested in this from day one. And I'm talking about a lot of us were here before the massacre happened in Iran. We remember, we know. You just can't come in here without knowing how this all started and how I mean, this has been an incredible up and down emotional roller coaster, especially for those who have military families and loved ones, etc. And for the people of Iran itself. This has been an incredible, emotional, stressful, painful roller coaster. You know what I mean? This has been tough, and it's even harder now to where we are and hearing all these things going on. Because I don't think those were the expectations that we were led to believe at the beginning. That's what I'm saying. Because it does not appear to be that way to me. And that's just my opinion. But I really, really thought this was going to be different. I believed in it. I put it up louder. I just put it louder because I was low because mom in the background. Let me see what you guys are writing, then I'm going to get off because I have work to do. Like I said, I'm not trying to attack or demean or disrespect, but we have to put the facts, we have to present the facts. I showed you the JCPOA document. I showed you the IAEA. I didn't show you all of them. The actual comments coming directly from the sources themselves. There's not much more I can do. It's not like, and now I am forming an opinion based on what I showed you all on the screen by those that have said things and documents, etc. But you reach your own conclusions. But like I said yesterday, when I was watching these clips coming in from France on Telegram and everywhere else, I said, is this fucking AI? This can't be real. This can't be real. But it was. No, actually it did affect me, JC, physically with my blood pressure. And it made me feel ill, like physically. Because I get too amped up and emotional about it. And I have to control myself. I have to calm down. And like I said, don't take my word for it. That's why, thank God, Faye found the article exactly what he said. But I did play the video earlier. It's on YouTube. You can see it. It might be dated February 28th, though. President Trump's statement. So that's not fake. That's real. So you guys, of course, reach your own conclusions. But as of right now, this is unbelievable. It's a 180. I agree with that, Chantal. We need to focus on here. And these foreign wars, it should be America first and taking care of the people here in our country. And that is a bipartisan thing for whatever political sway it is. I mean, that was his campaign. No more foreign wars. No more wars. So if you're a Trump supporter, you definitely feel frustrated on this. And if you're a Democrat, that's a whole different perspective in itself. But I think the overall sentiment is we should have never started this to begin with. For whatever political or whatever reasons. I mean, it just didn't make sense looking at it now. But again, it's easy to sit here and look at things in retrospect and be critical. It's so easy. Is it fair? No. It's not. But it is what it is. Because usually, if things think about it this way, and I don't watch the media, but I'm sure there's a lot of media out there that talks with clickbait involved, trying to draw viewers, all that. Good stories don't make them money. They focus on the negative. Nobody wants to really talk about the good stuff, and they should. The good things that are going on. It's always negative, something negative. Or, people pay attention when it's controversial. Definitely when it's political. That's what grabs people's attention. So to be critical of something, it usually is something that is going to be negative in nature. By the way, that's the same one. And we have our own problems. And this is not over. It's not over. Let's see if they release it today, like the vice president mentioned to Megyn Kelly yesterday. It could be released Wednesday, or it may happen at the latest Friday. I think it's going to happen Friday because that's when they're going to have some kind of a ceremony, whatever that looks like. And I think it's in Geneva. And let's just see how this plays out. Maybe everything will work out great. You know? That's all. Maybe everything will work out great. Maybe it's a lot of hype and I'm getting overexcited. You know, I'm like, you know, maybe we just got to give this time and see how it plays out. But the thing that scares me is the comments made. It's not a big deal about the highly enriched uranium. It's not. It was never about. I never was a supporter of regime change. You know, I'm like, wait, what? And I feel emotional. You know, because I didn't do this for any reason. It was 2C. And I'm getting emotional now. It was 2C when I saw it at the very beginning when the people were protesting on the streets of Iran and they closed the markets. Remember the business owners closed the markets down? Because the people were, because, you know, they were protesting really because they were tired, they were fed up about what was going on in their country, and you can't blame them. Their economy was collapsing, and it's even worse now. And then we started, it was 2C that inspired me to do this. And I'm tearing now because I'm thinking about all those people that were killed. And I remember Reza Pahlavi saying on Friday night, I'll never forget it, and Saturday, then the following day, take to the streets. And it was those 2 nights. It was a Friday night and a Saturday night, if I remember right. And that's when they got massacred. And I really thought that this was it. Something is going to change here for the betterment of humanity as a whole. Because if this would have happened, which I don't even think is going to happen now, I hate to say it, and I pray for the Iranian people. I pray for the Israeli people. I pray for the people in the region. I really believed in it. I really believe, based on what we were hearing at the beginning, that regime change was possible. That the Iranian people, not with us boots on the ground, but the Iranian people themselves would have the opportunity, not guaranteed, but at least have the opportunity to overthrow the regime. And if that would have happened, just think how the region would have changed in so many ways for the better, for everyone. Now, making a deal with the same regime, yeah, there are different players involved, people have been taken out. That's not going to help the Iranian people. It may be worse now for them because they survived. It's definitely not going to work out for the Israeli people. And the proxies are emboldened and nothing's changed. If anything, it might be worse. That's why I'm so disappointed That's why. If this was the first time that it could have actually happened in 47, 48 years, truly changed, this would have been incredible. It would be remembered in history. Now it may be remembered in history for the wrong reasons. That's what worries me. It's unbelievable. And maybe at this point, it may take intervention from spiritual. I don't know. God willing, there's some kind of a miracle that occurs now, because it's almost sad that I have to say it may take a miracle now. So again, I'm not going to give up hope, because once you lose hope, you lose everything. And I hope the people of Iran do not lose their hope. If not, it doesn't happen now, but at some point in the future, you're able to become a free, prosperous, peaceful nation where you could all live in peace and freedoms, and the freedoms that we enjoy here in the United States and other places in the world, though those are always under threat constantly. And I just hope that one day they'll all be able to live side by side despite their differences. We do it here. We have our differences, but we're able to still live side by side in peace with each other and respect each other. I apologize for my mother speaking in the background. So let's just see how this plays out. It's not over yet. Nothing's even been agreed on yet. Like, really negotiated. So, that's true, Bean. They don't give up. They're martyrs. They die for the cause.
So they don't believe in God?
Mom, please. This is not... No, I don't want... Mom, please. Because I'm going to get off now because I have things to do very important. Yeah, I know. I doubt Iranians want a Israeli-U.S. puppet leader, though. So when Reza Pahlavi says, or anybody else, they'll establish an immediate recognition of the state of Israel, you don't think that immediately creates peace between the two countries? Put it this way. I'll take anything than the status quo right now, Ghost. Anything's probably better than what is going to probably end up happening now. It's status quo, if not worse. And of course, there's going to be 3, 4, 5 million people in Iran that support the regime. But what about everybody else? You don't think they'll take Reza Pahlavi in a heartbeat than this regime? Or at least the opportunity to see what change could look like? It may not work. No guarantees in anything. But at least be given the opportunity for that possibility. So, you could look at it different ways. Mom, I'm going to get off right now because I have things to do. Anyway, yeah, hope still lives, you know? At least you can't give up on hope. If you lose hope, you're done. It's over. You might as well throw in the towel. You lose hope, it's over. And I hope that they don't lose their hope. Or anywhere that's striving for true freedom, expression, whatever it is. And again, there's going to be a lot of people that disagree with that. That's fine. But just having the opportunity to disagree is freedom. All right, I'm going to go because I got things to do. Love to all of you. Be well, be blessed, be safe. If any of you hear anything, post a comment on this stream when it's over so I know what the heck is going on. If you hear that they released the actual memorandum of understanding that the U.S. releases it, not the Iranian regime, propaganda media, our media, because they're feeding into the propaganda. If you see the U.S. release it, please let me know. And all of you have a wonderful day. Be well, be blessed, be safe.